recorded on the cloud. All right, so you guys are going to get a pop-up just reminding you that I am recording this meeting, and we want to be able to, share it with others that may not be able to participate. We'll also be able to place it like on our website and our YouTube channel. So make sure, you share it with a friend if they weren't able to make it or whatever the case may be. All right, so back to the presentation. All right, so once again, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about creating your spending plan, how to set SMART goals, how money works, and something called the financial roadmap. So great topics for today. I'm excited, guys. I'm very, very excited. All right, so who am I though? Who am I? I am Lori Michelle, and I am the co-founder of Pray, Slay, Inspire. And, God actually gave me a vision to be able to make a difference in my community as well. This actually was birthed several years ago. Desiree and I actually just started to talk about it. And there is something to speaking life into things. So you never know to what capacity God may be moving you in. So just begin to speak life. So this actually began a few years ago, like I said, as far as Desiree and I collaborating. And like I said, I'm just excited to be here. As far as my background goes, I actually have over 10 years of financial experience. I worked for a Fortune 500 company. Today, actually, some news I want to share. This is kind of a little bit off topic. No, okay. Today is my quit anniversary, you guys. 1 year ago today, I fired my 9-to-5. Today is actually my quit anniversary. So I'm really excited. More to come on that, but I actually have been my own business owner, like full-time business owner for the past year, officially. Yes, I am a private tutor by day. And I also am a certified tax specialist. So it is tax season. So if you have not found your tax specialist, I'm here for you guys. So I'll have all of my information on another slide, but just so you guys know who I am, that's who I am. Can you see me? I don't think you guys can see me. I'm going to stop the share. You can? See you. Okay, cool. I'm just making sure. All right. So that's who I am. I'm also the proud mother of 4 girls. I'm such a girl mom, but yes, my oldest is 21, and then my youngest is 2. So I'm a girl mom, but I bring not only my knowledge of the financial industry, but I know I've been a leader of my household, in and outside of the household. I'm a single mom, so I know all about leadership for sure. And I have a diverse background. So I believe I can bring a lot of gems to you guys today. I can't wait to share what I have to share with you guys, but that's pretty much who I am in a nutshell.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Man, she has such a powerful story, you guys. Stay tuned, continue to follow us. We have more workshops to come as well as brunches to come, and you will definitely be able to hear her story on a deeper end, and it's so mind-blowing. It's absolutely amazing, and will definitely inspire many.
I was trying not to go too deep, girl, because I can go deep. I was trying not to go too deep. I'm like, let me keep it short, sweet, and to the point.
It's okay. You go ahead and go, because I think my slide is coming up after this.
Yes. So that was really it as far as me. Then hold on, I'm trying to get the slide to go. It won't go. All right. So we already told you guys who Pray, Slay, Inspire is. Desiree, again, it's our movement that is designed to empower women to step out in faith, overcome obstacles, and of course, fulfill their purpose. So this is a couple of clips from some of the prior events. So if you're new to Pray, Slay, Inspire, I love this video because it shows you some of our things that we've done. This was the 50 Shades of Melanin brunch last year. I think, was this the first brunch?
That was the very first brunch.
This was the very first brunch of last year. So our first brunch actually for this year is going to be in March, you guys. So make sure you're following us. And it's, as you can see, we have a lot to offer to you guys. So
and our 1-year anniversary is coming up.
Yes, that too. It's going to be a big one. All right. So.
All right. And that's me again. Yay.
Yay. She kind of told you guys a little bit already, but I yield my mic to her.
Thank you. So yes. So you guys, as I mentioned before, I am the founder of Pray, Slay, Inspire. This did come to me in a vision where I truly believe that God called me to this platform to give back to predominantly his women. However, the platform is extended to men as well. And most people know me as a businesswoman. I am a businesswoman. I am the owner of multiple businesses. And actually, my anniversary as a full-time entrepreneur is coming up in March for 2 years. Oh my God, I survived 2 years, y'all.
We do it.
Well, we do it. So also my background is in corporate finance, sales, leadership, and also I love the beauty and fashion industry. I currently own a women's clothing boutique, also a beauty loft, which consists of body contouring and shapewear. I'm also a tax specialist and a credit repair specialist. I wear many hats.
She wears many, many hats.
And most importantly, I am a woman of faith. I love me some Jesus.
Yes.
I serve Jesus. I love me some God, and like to call myself a hot girl because I like to dress up for Jesus.
I love that.
And also, I'm a mommy of a beautiful little girl, and I'm expecting you guys.
Y'all congratulate Miss Desiree because she's got one on the way and she's showing up for you guys. She's working really hard behind the scenes.
Yes.
Prego and all.
Prego and all. I'm making sure I deliver the best to you guys, and only by the grace of God I can even do what I'm doing. So I just have to give all thanks to him. And also, I have an amazing husband. Thank God, if it wasn't for him dealing with my shenanigans and all my businesses and all that I got going on, James Sonata. So yes, that's pretty much
Shout
me in a
out to
nutshell.
James.
And again, you guys, I'm so thankful. If anyone just joined in, again, I'm Desiree, the founder, and welcome. I'm just praying that this workshop really speaks to your finances, your goals, and your vision. So we'll go ahead and go next.
Awesome. Thank you. That was very powerful.
Thank you.
All right, you guys. So once again, just in case you just joined, again, I'm Lori Michelle Lee, your co-founder, co-host of Pray Slay Inspire today. As I mentioned, full-time business owner, career strategist, mentor, and mom. I'm really passionate about our youth. So I do try to make sure that when it comes to, for example, my tutoring, that I'm also mentoring, because that's my ministry, you guys. Like everything that I pour into, I consider it a ministry. We are disciples, and I'm obviously a woman of faith too. And I just feel like, we have to find a way to find our purpose. And once we find that purpose, we've got to execute. So it's one thing to know your purpose, but are you walking in that purpose? And that's what I love about our vision here for Pray Slay Inspire, to kind of help you guys get there. But yeah, so that's me. I already really introduced myself. I don't really have much else to say beyond that.
But we got
someone else coming up. So I'm going to yield my mic now to Brandon.
Yes.
Welcome.
Hey guys, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. So my name is Brandon Smith, and I'm really honored to be able to speak to you guys today, be up here with these powerful women because they're amazing. I'm just kind of helping facilitate their vision, what they wanted for you all. But for me, I'm a full-time business owner as well. I have a extensive background in leadership, sales, everything like that, but really been in finance for the last 13 years as a whole, but the last 9 years as a licensed financial professional. I wear a lot of hats as well. I'm actively serving in my ministry. So that's a big deal for me. My wife, Latrice, and I have been married now for 11 years. It'll be 12 years this summer. We got an 8-year-old daughter who's 8 going on 18, it feels like. And she's the backbone that's helped us out because, when I made a decision to kind of go full-time in my career, a little bit about Desiree said in her live the other day, my wife was super supportive. At first she wasn't really, but she was like, hey, you know what? I know what you're called to do. I know what God's told you to need to do. I support it. So she helped hold us down and continue to work her teaching career. She actually kind of deferred a little bit of her some of the goals she wanted for her own business because she saw our business would be the vehicle to help fund that. So I always want to give honor to her whenever I speak.
I love
this situation
that.
like that. I know she's finishing up at church right now, so she couldn't be with us right now, but I'm just excited. I'm really passionate about educating our community. I'll educate everybody, but our communities, that's just my heart, my passion. And I know that through education and having the right resources, we can help take people where we need to go. And that's the biggest thing. The word says our people perish for a lack of knowledge. So you guys are not going to be you'll no longer have that problem actually today with what, Lori's bringing, what Desiree's bringing, what I'm able to help with. I'm just excited to be here and be able to, pour into you all.
Yeah, we're so excited to have you. And when I tell you guys, he is going to drop some gems on you. Make sure you have your notebooks, your pen. Go ahead and grab all your supplies and take copious notes, guys, because when I tell you, yes, we're going to put the slides up, but knowing Desiree, knowing Brandon, and what they're going to give you, a lot of it is going to be off slide. So you want to make sure you catch it when they say it, okay?
Yes. So go ahead, take a second, you guys, grab your pens, grab your notepad so that you are able to take notes.
I'm taking copious notes.
And Brandon, I really love what you just said. Our peoples perish to a lack of knowledge. Can you drop that verse for us, please? That is so imperative.
You know what's funny? Real true story. I actually was going to add that scripture to one of the slides, and see this obedience. God is dealing with me on obedience, y'all. I didn't add it last night. I promise you.
It snatched me, because it is so true. I feel like even with me and my entrepreneurship journey, it has been tough because I lacked a lot of knowledge. So a lot of things that I've gone through could have been avoided if I would have known. So I do feel like Brandon said, it's very important that we share and get our community up to par, because we all have so many goals and visions. Yeah, that's great. But how do you accomplish those? How do you tackle these things? So you guys prepare yourself to take notes. And also, I'll go ahead and continue on with our next slide, which is our icebreaker. Can't start this thing without an icebreaker. So if you could only choose one financial goal for 2022, what would that be and why?
That's a good question.
And I'll give you about 3 seconds, maybe 5 seconds to come up with something, because prior to this workshop, I'm hoping that you guys had a financial goal in mind. So I'll give you about 5 seconds or so.
I'm going to come up with mine.
Okay.
See, my problem is narrowing it down.
I know, right? So that is hard because we all have so many financial goals.
Yeah, so many places that we want to be and things we want to do. So one goal, one financial goal. Okay. I think I got mine.
And once you're ready, you guys, you can just drop ready in the comment, and we'll allow you to unmute your mic to share your goal if you're comfortable with that. Oh, Nikita, you are ready, girl.
I love your energy. I love it. Nikita, do you feel comfortable sharing your one goal with the group?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
My goal for this year would be buying a house and having 6 months of savings locked up in my account. Like that's what I need right now.
Buying a house, investing in property. I love that. I heard that is like the #1 way of obtaining wealth within the Black community is by buying property. So that is amazing, Nikita. It is very, very doable. And I know it's already done. It's already done for you. So thank you so much.
We're going to touch and agree on that for you today, Nikita.
Yes.
Amen. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome. Would anyone else care to share their one? Unmute your mic if you want to share. We'll give you a chance to share. No, don't be shy. It's a very intimate setting.
And everything shared here is also, it's privacy, you guys. Everything here is transparency and is out of love. So you don't have to worry about us sharing anything outside of this or anything of that sort.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you, Nikita, for sharing your goal. We appreciate it. If you don't want to unmute, if you want to just mute, you can drop it in the comments if you prefer. All right.
Wait, I think I saw Valencia.
Did you see Valencia? Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't see her. Sorry, Valencia.
My goal this year is hopefully by October that open adult group home.
Yes. I love that.
Come on.
Yes. I pray that the Lord sends you your resources that you need. And I pray that you get the building, the land, whatever it is that's on your heart. The Bible tells us he's able to do exceedingly abundantly above anything we could ever ask or think. So it is already done. You need my pen?
Yeah. Yes, Valencia. That's absolutely doable. So I'm actually praying for investors to just show up, to just pour into your business. I don't have my goal this year. Okay. Alrighty, so we have another goal. But Valencia, yes, I'm praying that God just allows investors to just pour into important to your vision. And feel free to connect with us also after this, which we'll get into more details of how we can also help you guys outside of this, because we do have resources as well. So stay connected.
Yes, and networking a lot of times will open some doors for you too, just knowing having the right connections, and God will send you the right people. But I love that. So we have Miss Agnes Foster Sanchez says, I don't have a mic, but my goal this year is to make enough money in my business so I can fire my boss. Yay. So I don't know if you were on when I said today is my quit-iversary. So if you weren't, yes, today is actually my quit-iversary. So let's touch and agree. You can definitely do it. You definitely can do it. Yes. Wow. Okay. I wasn't sure. Sorry, I wasn't looking, but yes, I'm here to encourage you today that, that you can do it. You definitely can. And hopefully some of the resources, I know you said money, having enough money. So by the end of today, our goal is to make sure you have the resources and the tools to equip yourself to get to that goal. I think that's a really great goal.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm just going to say congratulations, because I believe that it's already done. It is not hard at all to fire your boss or to even have enough money, make enough money in your business. The most thing that God tests us on is faith. Are you going to take that leap of faith? Mm-hmm. So amazing, amazing. Congratulations. It's already done. By the end of this year, you will be your own boss.
Amen.
Okay?
Amen.
Oh. My daughter loves to do that.
Yes.
Don't mind me. I like to have fun.
My little cousin does that, and I try to say it and I can't say it right.
Yes.
It's the little people can always say it the right way.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Thank y'all for sharing.
I guess I'll go ahead and share my goal. I'm pretty sure everyone can already hear me. Yeah. So my goal this year, it's a little bizarre and it seems to be a giant to me, but I believe the same God that parted the Red Sea, can do it for me. So my goal this year, I want to be able to make $1 million. I know that sounds so cliche, you guys, but I don't only have the desire to be a millionaire, but I have the desire to break generational curses and create a streams of wealth in my family. And something really touched my heart this morning. I don't want to get emotional about it, but on my way here, my mom actually, she's been in housekeeping for about 20 something years. And she's been cleaning hotel rooms. So she cleans about 15 to 25 rooms a day. And during the pandemic, her hotel closed and she was able to stay home for a year, but now she's having to return. And she started a new job just a few days ago, and her knees are swelling. She's already complaining. Her feet are swelling. So she's just getting to that point where she just can't do the job anymore. So I had the desire to obtain $1 million, but also to fire my mom's boss.
Hello.
Okay. And I feel some type of way that I have a business and I can't allow my mom to come and sit and work here for me. So I'm in prayer to make $1 million so that my mom can comfortably live and I can comfortably give back to the community and create wealth in my family. So that is my financial goal this year. How am I going to make it? I'm going to make it. I already wrote the plan and I signed the check, Jesus. So come on through.
Yeah, amen. And I love what was said in the comments. I know you probably couldn't see it, but I love the support. Thank you, women, for you ladies for what you said. But Agnes said you spoke it, so it's already done, Desiree.
Amen. I received that. Thank you so much. I believe it. I receive it. True testimony, transparency, guys. I wrote the goal for this year from all my business and all the things that I need to do. The numbers look scary. But I believe God, He is so amazing, you guys. He sustained me, more than sustained me for the last 2 years. So I truly believe with this workshop, with the support and with faith and belief that I will be able to accomplish that goal. So Thank you.
Amen to that. And I want to make sure I say her name right. Geraldine? No, I know.
Yes,
right. Gerlaine. So I'm so sorry. So she says, my goal is to make enough money to pay my house off and to help more kids in Haiti.
Yes.
I love that.
And I actually want a huge shout out to Gerlaine because she's actually my cousin-in-law. This is my husband's cousin. And we have a children's organization, nonprofit, which is based here, but we give back to the children of Haiti. And when I tell you guys, Gerlaine has sown so many seeds into these children, into our nonprofit. So I don't doubt that the house will be paid off because she's giving back every year to about 500 plus families. So
Wow.
those seeds that you're sowing, it's going to be returned. And what I love
Yes,
about
it will not come back to you, void.
right, it will not come back void. And what I love about sowing seeds is that it always returns
Always
back to you. So it's already done. House is paid for. Children are taken care of. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen. You said you want to fire your boss. You're going to be able to fire your boss. And what I love, and then so I was going to say, that's what I love about our guys, because what ends up happening is we have we talked about this the other day. We have a vision in our head of how we expect things to look, which is totally fine. But I love that God will come up and come and show up and show out. And you'll be like, I didn't even think of that. Wow. And it's so unexpected, and it's so different than what you probably envisioned. So girl, keep on praying for that. But I do believe it's already done.
Yes. Thank you so much, Agnes, for like you said, yes, if the goal was small, then we wouldn't need God.
Amen.
But it's gonna be done, and I'm excited to hear the praise reports by the end of the year.
Make sure y'all let us know these praise reports, okay? Yes.
Anyone else would like to we're supposed to bless to be a blessing to
That's
others.
right.
Caroline, you're about blessed because you're sowing into fertile soil. Yes.
Amen.
Come on
Amen.
now. You see,
I love
y'all
that.
speaking life into each other. Look at that. Amen. Powerful.
Very powerful. Thank you, ladies,
would
for
anyone
sharing.
else like to share?
Yeah, I'll
Make
go ahead and jump on in. I'll go ahead and share. For me,
Yes, come on, Brandon.
No, we got a certain amount of debt we're looking to eliminate, which is not a lot in the grand scheme of things by this summer. And really one of my big goals is to go ahead and retire my wife, Latrice. Like I told you guys, she held it down a lot in the beginning of our business. She's got some goals, some visions, things she wants to do. And, she's gotten worn out being an educator. She's been doing it for years. So I think it's time for her to be able to walk in the stuff she wants to do. So our goal is for me to at least double my income, so that it'll cover what she's missing. So she doesn't have to worry about anything. She can just focus on rest and recovering, and then getting into what God's called her to do. And so
Lord,
for
you
that,
heard what he said, double portion, God.
But I heard triple though.
No, I'm saying, I'm repeating what he said though.
I know.
But triple.
Yeah,
triple.
So he said double, but I heard triple for him.
Okay, all right.
So that is amazing. All right, so you got to let us know, Brandon, because I really did hear triple. He said double, but I heard triple.
So. Okay.
Man, I receive that.
I love it.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and continue on with the next slide. And I hope you guys are enjoying this. If you're enjoying the workshop, I want you to drop some fire flames in the comments.
Yes. Let me drop mine, because I know I'm enjoying it so far. And we haven't even got into the nitty gritty. Like, we're not even in the trenches yet, but I'm loving
drop your
the
fire
conversation
flames
so
if you're
far.
enjoying. I dropped my fire flames. Y'all don't leave me hanging now.
Hold on, I got to figure out how to get there from my phone. That's my issue right now. There we go. With me working these two devices, I'm like, what am I doing? And I do, but the thing is, I do it all the time, but it's still like, I feel like, I don't know, out of my element for a moment. All right. So you've got something great up here on the screen. Continue, Desiree.
Yes. So I'm going to go ahead and share with you guys this quote that really stood out to me. Be aware of little expenses. A small leak will sink a great ship.
That's good.
So I don't know how y'all perceive that, but for me, it spoke to me, because a lot of times I can catch myself saying, you know what? Oh, it's just $5. Or it's just girl, it's only $20. Girl, let me grab this, or let me get that. But
guilty.
Yes,
I'm guilty of that.
That
I can't even lie.
me when I read it, because at the end of the day, we are the ship, and we are the what is it? Who drives the ship again?
The captain.
The captain.
Yes.
We are the ship, and we are the captain to our own ship. So even the small expenses that we don't consider and we don't think is a big deal, those are the ones that add up a lot faster than the 500, 1,000 that you drop here and there. So this has spoke to me, and I hope that resonates with you guys. Within this workshop, we're going to talk about expenses and to help you not sink in this season. Okay. Amen. Someone say, stay afloat.
Stay afloat.
Yes. Thank you, Agnes. I'm glad that spoke to you as well. And the next slide, I believe that's you.
Yeah. All right. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay. Making sure.
Right, Brandon, right. It's the little things. Just like in your relationships, it's the little things that matters. Oh, that's me. So let's talk money. Just to get your minds going and to stimulate your brains. We're flowing more into the financial part of the workshop as of right now that we've gotten your goals out of the way. I know for me, when I got into taking my finances serious, I'm not gonna say I always took it serious because guys, I like to eat. And when I look at my expenses, most of my expenses go to food because I like to eat good food. And I'm not talking McDonald's and Burger King. I like steak, mashed potatoes. I like fine dining. Y'all see why I need to be a millionaire? So my dinner be like $100, okay?
She is not a cheap date.
And my daughter isn't either because now she like lobster, crabs, that costs, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So the biggest question for me and the reason why I share this with you guys is how do I know? I mean, yeah, I know to pay my bills, but what percentage should it be? So I found this really, really good, interesting information for you guys. And I'm going to go ahead and share, which you can also read. So we can live by the 50-20-30 rule. 50% of our income should go to essentials such as rent and other housing costs, groceries, gas, etc. And 20% should be for savings. That can be our savings account, retirement account, contributions, loans, credit, and card payments. 30% for everything else, non-essential expenses like clothing, restaurants, monthly streaming, subscriptions, and gyms. So literally this gives you a good percentage to kind of organize your finances so that we can know what goes to what and how to break things down. So that's just really to marinate in your mind to get a flow going for the workshop.
I love
so we'll
it.
go ahead and also I'm going to speak to some things that you may want to take notes of. I didn't put it on a slide because it really take about 5 slides. But things that when I started creating, I didn't always live on a budget, you guys, because no one ever taught me about, oh yes, so a goal without a plan is just a wish. Exactly, let's talk about that. So we can have all the financial goals we would like, but what's the plan behind the finances? What can we do to actually meet these goals? So literally, guys, no one has ever taught me how to manage my money, manage my finances. I was always told to save and pay my bills on time. But what good is that to me? Like no one ever gave me a breakdown. And I find myself between last year and this year, really, really writing down everything that I spend money on. I'm talking about, even if I get invited to birthday parties, I'm writing down how much of that should go towards that. And if it's over my budget, I have no business going. So what I'm going to share with you guys now is literally a breakdown of things that you guys may not even think of that needs to be in your financial plan. Granted, everyone's financial goal is different, but what I'm sharing with you guys today is to prepare you for a long-term success.
Before you get to that,
yes.
Before you get to that, we need you guys to buy into the idea that you can actually do this. If you're starting out with the wrong mindset, then it's not going to help you get to that next level. So first, before you get to that,
that's fine. Mm-hmm.
let's start with something really simple, okay? A simple exercise, all right? I'm gonna go over 3 things with you guys, and it's gonna be the 3 pillars of financial goal setting. What am I talking about? All right, number 1, I alluded to it, mindset, okay? Now you have to have a mindset that says, yes, I can do this. Yes, I can reach my goals. Yeah, maybe I didn't do, last year I had these goals and I didn't meet them, or who cares what happens, okay? So here's what I want you guys to do first, all right? The first thing I want you to do is forgive yourself, okay?
Yes.
Forgive yourself, sis, okay? That's number 1. Leave the past that's in the past, because guess what? God is already forgiving you. If you've prayed on and say, Lord, forgive me. Right now, if you want to take a moment to repent, if you're feeling guilty in your heart, do that. But I want you to forgive yourself. Shame will hold you back from seeing the solution, okay?
Yes.
It's very important that you forgive yourself. Here's what I like you guys to do. You can write this down to do later. In the next 24 hours, I want you guys to practice. I know it sounds silly, but hear me out, okay? I actually want you guys to practice forgiving yourself, okay? So when the negative thoughts enter into your mind, I want you to actually instead change your thought pattern and think about something positive about yourself. One thing that I like to do is I like to write positive affirmations and just recite them either in my journal, in my bathroom. I wish I would have put a slide showing you guys, but in my bathroom, I have like scriptures, and then I have things that I need to tell myself every single day. And so over the next 24 hours, you guys, I want you to go ahead and just start practicing changing your thought patterns to a more positive. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, okay, trying to get to the next slide.
I do have something really quick
to add to that. Sure, add on to that.
Like, you guys, forgiveness. I love that you literally decided to go in on this because it's so important. I remember personally, from a very transparent place, one time my finances was so bad, y'all. I didn't even want to check my account. Have you ever been like that? Like,
let's be real. I know I have. Like, I don't even want to look at my bank account.
And even one time when I was in the transition from leaving my 9-to-5 and going into full-time entrepreneurship, you guys, my credit took a major hit. And I remember I was ashamed to look at my credit, and I avoided it, but it was hurting me more because I wasn't.
You're not exactly.
So that's why I'm
saying. You're doing more damage.
Forgive yourself, because I was ashamed. I was embarrassed. I didn't want to talk about it. And I'm like, you know what? In order for me to repair it, to fix it, I have to speak about it. I have to look at it. I have to get it done. So please forgive yourself. Forgiveness is the first thing, a first part of being successful. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for your failures, your setbacks, and your downfalls. Okay?
Okay. I can't say it.
I know.
Listen, y'all, I'm trying to say it. But yeah, so takeaway, first step, before we even dive into talking about finances, because guess what? If you go into this, even this workshop, or go into the rest of what you're trying to do with the same mindset, they said the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results, right? Yeah. So you have to change your mindset. So today is your day one. That's the great thing, is you can make every day your day one. Today is your day one of having the right mindset, okay? So moving on. Brandon, did you want to add anything to that? I saw you were putting something in the chat. Did you want to add to that?
Oh, no, that's just saying that's the biggest thing. We've all been there. I know, ladies, we talked a little bit offline that, all of us have been there. So anything that any of us are sharing today, we're telling y'all not because of where we are, because we still got a lot of room to grow. We're telling you from a source of, we done been through the pain, so we know what it's like. So don't think just because we're here presenting, that means that any of us have it all together. We don't. We're doing better than we were, but we're trying to help you guys avoid the traps that we've all already been through. So we're going to come from a place of sharing with y'all from our heart. Not just giving y'all some knowledge, because we've walked this same path and still deal with a lot of the same stuff.
Yes.
So I'm with you on that.
Thank you for that. Thank you, Brandon. So absolutely. All right. The second thing, okay? The second thing. You need an accountability partner. So what do I mean when I say accountability partner? Let's talk about that. All right. Number one, make sure the person that you choose is encouraging, because what did we just talk about? Your mindset, right? You need someone that's going to actually pour into you the right things. You don't want someone that's going to be saying to you, well, I don't know if you can really do that. You sure you want to do that, girl? I don't really know.
Like, you're not the accountability partner.
Right. That's not the right person for you. Okay. So if you need help finding that person, or you don't know who that person is, I want you to think about first of all, think about who you have in your circle, because it starts with your circle. Second of all, if you can't find anyone in your circle, that's a whole nother conversation that maybe we need to talk about offline, because you need people around you that are like-minded, and you need that one person that you can lean on for sure. That's going to help you. The second thing is that person also needs to help you normalize the process. What do I mean by that? What I mean by normalizing the process is, once you set your goals today, you need someone that's going to say, okay, no, they're going to hold you accountable and say, okay, well, sis, you said you want to buy your house this year. Well, you don't need to be eating out every day, sis. You need to save your money. You need people that are actually going to make the process normal for you. And when two or more are gathered, what did we just talk about? He is in the midst, meaning you guys are going to touch and agree on your goal and help each other out. You may have you and your friend, like Desiree, I told her she's going to be my accountability partner and hold me accountable for what I'm talking about this year. But it's so important. So that's really what I mean by finding the accountability partner, making sure they're a great fit for you, or the right fit. Do you want to add to that?
Yes, I do. Of course I want to add something. Let me just
Okay.
But that's good. And y'all don't be running from your accountability partner.
Oh,
Because listen, I gotta come from a transparent place. I gotta keep it real.
yeah.
Trust me,
keep it
I don't
real.
always want somebody to know that I'm about to buy something or tell me, put that up, Desiree, you ain't got no business doing that. Accountability partner is not always fun to have, but it's needed.
It's necessary.
It's so needed because it's going to help you get aligned and really say, you know what? Okay, I do have this goal to reach. Thank you for holding me accountable. And you have to understand, you got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And growth is not comfortable. Setting up a financial goal is not comfortable. Talking about your finances is not always comfortable.
Yeah.
But yet you have to understand, just as a child, when we're growing, we're not wearing the same size shoes we wore when we were 5 years old. So sometimes those shoes start rubbing that toe and your feet are outgrowing the shoes. Think about your growth process like that. It's not comfortable, you guys. It's just like if you're sowing a seed in the ground, it has to grow roots, it has to sprout. So think about your accountability partner in that case as well, because guess what? If I'm planting a garden, I'm the one who's accountable for watering that plant.
Mm-hmm.
So think about your accountability partner and find someone that you can trust.
Definitely.
If you're in a position with me, I've gone through a season before where God completely isolated me because he was dealing with me. And I didn't feel like at a point in time, now I'm in a different season, I really had anyone that I could confide in or trust in. However, what I used to do is go to YouTube and I will Google budget, financial speakers, motivational videos, how to set a goal, how to set a plan to hold me accountable. I'll be in my car, I'll play it. I'll go to bed, I'll be playing it. And I feel like if I couldn't have a physical partner that I could reach out to, me just Googling or YouTubing assisted me with that accountability because it gave me a different vision. It gave me a different insight on life. Mm-hmm. So I don't know who that is for. If you feel like you don't have an accountability partner, there's so many things out there that could still hold you accountable.
And I just truly believe that God will send you the right person.
Yes, I agree. And thank you so much, Lori, for being my accountability.
Yes, we hold each other accountable. Yes. You don't even know y'all. But I love that. All right, so moving on. And the third thing, be intentional. Now, that kind of goes without saying, right? Because that's why we're here. This is your first step of being intentional. You signed up for this workshop. You decided to take that first step, but you've got to take it step by step further is what I mean. So when you get intentional, okay, and we're going to talk a little bit more about this, but basically you want to go ahead and start with just giving yourself one financial goal. So we kind of alluded to that in the icebreaker, because when you are intentional and you have just one thing to focus on in the midst of everything else, but one financial goal, it's going to help you achieve that goal with the tools that we're going to give you today. And you're also going to have to be specific. Okay, let me switch this. You're going to get specific. Okay, so don't just give a vague goal like I want to lose weight. Okay, just saying you want to lose weight, does the weight magically fall off of you? And I wish that were true. But you got to do what? You got to change your eating habits. You've got to drink more water, go to the gym. And we were talking about accountability partners. If you think about different areas of life, like for example, I'm going to use going to the gym. So what most people do is what? If they are serious, they'll get a personal trainer. Why? Because that personal trainer is going to hold them accountable, making sure, okay, we're going to set a plan for these amount of days that you're going to show up and work out. At home, you have to hold yourself accountable for doing your part. So just to give you an example, so you get specific, okay? Don't just say, I want to lose weight. We need to actually strategize on how you can get there, all right? Also, one thing that I love to do, and I'm going to talk more about this, but you need to identify what you need to do each quarter, which is like 90 days. I love doing 90-day goals, and each month. So you even have to scale it down there. So when you think of 365 days in a year, that can be overwhelming. That can be very overwhelming. So you need to narrow things down to quarterly and month. And we'll talk more about that, but just something to kind of put in your mind. All right. And the final thing is, this is very, very important. Committing to the next step. Okay. Now, after you've done all of this, are you committed to it? Do you really say to yourself, I'm going to do this and mean it, commit to taking that next step?
Yes. Yes, I love that. That's that yes that you have to say yes.
You got to say yes.
All right. Thank you so much. That was amazing, Lori. Thank you for breaking that down, because sometimes we got to break it down to see it.
Yes. So I wanted to make sure we started with that, because I want you guys to come into this workshop today with an open mind. Okay. Keep an open mind and allow yourself to just be poured into today. We want to pour into you. So allow it. Open up your mind to receive it. Okay.
Yes. Thank you so much. Because that's
so
good.
welcome.
That's good. Nobody wrote that down to me in my life. It's a shame. Going on 30 years. Ain't it a shame?
Yes. And
But,
if it takes you, sorry,
no,
I didn't
you're
mean to
fine.
interrupt. One thing that I like to do is highlight your strengths. A lot of times, some of us, we're so humble that we don't even take the time to really recognize where we're strong at. So if you're good at, you may be, I don't know, you may be like, for me, I'm good at teaching and I'm good at writing things down. Like Desiree was saying, she has to write this season. She's been writing everything down. So have I. So whatever your strengths may be, write those things down. Why am I telling you to do that? Because when you are having those difficult days and you're having a hard time finding your way back to that why you're doing this, why did I set this goal? You need to be able to look at what you wrote down and go back to your strengths. So if you're feeling weak, then you can go back and look at your strengths and say, I can do this. I've got this, whatever those strengths may be. And you can pull from those strengths too. And sometimes when you sit down and identify what your strengths are, it'll put you on a path to where you need to go. Or where you want to be.
Laura, I want to jump in on that if y'all don't mind. It's something you said that was so key. I'm not supposed to be speaking for a couple minutes, but that hit me real hard. Identify what you need to do, and you talk about the accountability partner. For those of us who are married and have spouses, that accountability partner should be our spouse. And this might go against what a lot of people say, but I personally don't believe in your money, my money, you do, because how you live in two people under the same house, trying to do things completely separate from each other. It doesn't work. It fundamentally doesn't work. And then did this get paid? Did you pay this? Well, identifying strengths is one of the things that I know for me, I'm more of a big picture person and everything, but Latrice is more like the planner. She's more like she runs the household budget. We both make money, but we have discussions about it. And if it doesn't line up, we like Desiree said, we can't do it. Sorry. I know y'all want to go on this trip. I can't catch that. I can't catch this trip. So identifying what your strengths are, right? So we went through a big part of our financial troubles in the beginning is because I was used to always making money and paying stuff for myself and doing things like that. And growing up, I saw my dad be kind of like my mom didn't have to work because luckily my dad was in a good financial position, but my dad paid all the bills. That's just how he ran our household. He handled everything so my mom could focus on raising me and my sister. So when I got married, I tried to bring that same thing in without really having a discussion with my wife. So I was dropping the ball because I'm working, I'm hustling, trying to do a business and working, and things are dropping through the things, but I'm married to a planner, like person who plans and structures things for a living. So I had to relinquish my control and identify, yes, I can still be the head of the household, like God's called me to be, but he's also brought me someone who can help me, just like, Eve got brought in to help Adam. Adam had an assignment, but Eve was brought in to help him with that assignment. So humbling ourselves, or whichever one of y'all said that, you got to humble yourself a little bit and say, okay, you know what? Yes, I am good at these things, but these are some areas where I need some help. So if you have your accountability person and identifying your strengths has to come from you and your partner as well. You got to identify your strengths, be okay with that, take the pride out and say, at the end of the day, we're working towards the same goal. So it doesn't matter who gets credit for doing what, because we're trying to get to the same place. So I just want to share that for those who are married.
Oh, I love that, Brandon.
So
that
good.
was good. Yes, thank you for that.
And he got us, for those of you who are married on the line listening, I think that was a great view from a marital perspective. And I agree with you 100%. Because, like they say, number one causes of divorce is finance.
Yeah.
So that's deep.
Thank you, really Brandon, good. That needed to be said. So thank you for saying that.
Dang.
Ooh, that was
so good. I forgot what I was supposed to say.
Me too. That was so good.
God, that means I didn't have anything to say.
That was good. That was really good.
Yeah, that was really, really good.
Thank you.
Man. I thought I had something good to say, but I can't follow up with it. Serious, guys. So if it comes back to me, then it comes back to me. My gosh. So yeah, thank you. Wow. Let me go. I'm going to go ahead and go over a quick budget, you guys. As I mentioned earlier, I wouldn't really say budget. Let me not say budget because everyone's financial situation is a little different. So we're just going to say spending responsibilities, I would say, things that should be within your financial duties throughout the year. So I'll start with If you have rent or mortgage, so you guys, you could take notes, because there are some things that I may mention that are the basics, but there's some things that you may like, dang, I didn't even consider that.
Mhm.
So we have mortgage, you have your light bill, you have your water bill, you have groceries. So everything that I'm listing here should have a monthly, I would say at least a monthly, I'm trying to avoid the word budget, but a monthly spending plan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Your
So,
finances need a plan.
yes,
Not just
exactly,
you, but your
not just you,
finances.
right. So one of them is your rent or mortgage, lights, water, groceries, essentials, especially for my ladies. If we like to get our hair, nails, men, haircut, personal care, yes, that is a part of our spending plan, you guys. I wasn't writing a spending plan for that. If I wanted, I'd just go get it. But that's a no-no, because that'll avoid me from accomplishing my big goals. So yes, create a plan for that. If you have a car note, we should even try to have a plan for gas. Miscellaneous, which is fun money. So if you want to travel, you want to have fun, you want to go out, then you need a plan for that as well, a budget. Emergency funds. So all of these, we got to pay all these bills and still got emergency funds. Yes, we need emergency funds. Some money put aside that you will not touch just in case of an emergency. What is an emergency? If your car breaks down, not if somebody having a shower or a wedding, you trying to, that's not an emergency. Emergency. Yes, or allocation. Yes. Thank you, Brandon. So literally that means if God forbid something happens to your vehicle or you end up sick or something of that sort. Yes, your phone bill. If you go to the gym, yes. Cable internet. Subscriptions. If you have any subscriptions for any of your fun shows, Netflix, or you have subscriptions for Apple Pay or music or whatever, that needs to be a part of the plan as well. So anything going out of the account needs a plan. Savings, emergency funds and savings is different, you guys. Yes, so you need a plan for your emergency funds and a plan for your savings. As I mentioned earlier, when I was growing up, no one told me this. They just said save money. Something happened, take it out of your savings. No, your savings should be used for if you want to invest or anything of that sort. So that should be separate from your emergency funds. Car insurance. So y'all forgot about the car insurance? Yes, that needs to be in your plan. Life insurance.
Life insurance.
That is so important and so vital, you guys, especially for my youthful people within my Black community. You guys, we need life insurance. God forbid a death happens, something happens to you. We need to be able to bury you without doing a GoFundMe, because a GoFundMe doesn't always cover the cost. An average funeral is going to cost at least $20,000 or more. $20,000 is the bare minimum. How do I know? Just recently, a few years ago, I had to bury my father-in-law, and that was about 2 years ago. And the economic has completely changed since then. So you guys, please get life insurance. If you have children, if you don't have children, you still need life insurance. Look into that, please. Also, if you rent or you have a mortgage, did you consider your mortgage insurance? Did you consider renter's insurance? That needs to be a part of the plan as well. Do you have a 401k? How much money is going to your 401k? That is setting yourself up for retirement. I'm an entrepreneur, but I make sure I have life insurance. I have savings. I don't have a 401k plan as of yet, but I am putting things up to get one. However, I'm life insured, medically insured. You still have to get it done, you guys. It's so vital that you have these things. If your children goes to daycare, I can hear anything. So,
are we having an audio issue?
Yes, dental as well. Thank you, Agnes. That's a part of your healthcare. Also, if your children goes to any after school programs, no, I can hear you. Okay.
Okay, we're just making sure. Thank you.
Also, if you have after school programs or daycare that you guys, put your children in, consider those things. Also, debt. How can we forget about that? That's a part of the plan too. Some of us may have school loans or credit cards or things of that sort. So we need to allocate funds to our debt. So you guys, I just listed a really, really long list down from the beginning to the nitty gritty. I hope I wasn't speaking too fast, that you guys were able to catch that. But those are some of the things that you want to think about adding to your plan. I know personally before, thank you, Nikita. Thank you. Before, I was just like, okay, house, car insurance, phone, water. Okay, cool. No, you need a plan, a budget for everything. Because then we need to know what's literally important and what we can do after that. So that's just my little tip on the spending plan.
Awesome. Okay. Great stuff. So thank you for that, Desiree. And so she mentioned quite a few great things. I'm going to actually share with you guys something on the screen. My phone was getting ready to die. I didn't want my phone to die. It wasn't charging this whole time. Yeah, that's probably why. So I got that situated. Sorry about that, guys. All right. So you may be wondering, that was a laundry list of things, right? That was a lot. Like, I didn't even get to write all that down. I have some good news for you guys.
Yes.
I have some good news for you guys. Want to hear the good news? Do you guys want to hear the good news? Say yes in the comments if you want to hear the good news, first of all.
Yes, lay it on.
I need to know that y'all want to hear the good news. You hear it?
Yeah. Is this plugged in?
It's plugged in, but I don't know what's wrong with it. So we're going to work through it. It's plugged in. Okay. So the good news is, because you guys showed up today, we have some freebies that we're going to give you guys to help you get started. Okay. And I am going to, actually, I'm trying to get it back up on the screen since my phone was getting ready to die. I don't want to lose you guys. Yes, some really good things to help you guys get to where you need to be. So give me 1 second. My phone decided it wanted to be about to die. Okay, so let me share my screen with you guys. Sorry for the delay.
You're fine.
Let me put the PowerPoint back up. But I have some freebies. And one of the freebies that I have for you guys, not this. It has a mind of its own right now.
I see that.
You see that? It has a mind of its own. Like, I didn't ask you to do all that. All right. So one of the freebies that I have for you guys is going to be a spending plan. So you have something tangible that you can print out at home. You don't have to try to, Desiree and I love using these journals.
Yeah,
like I have them here, which are totally fine, right? But you may want, this year, we're talking about being intentional and doing things differently, right? So I need you guys to be able to have something concrete that you can use. I thank Brandon for putting this together or sharing this with us, because you guys, this is going to be really amazing. So I'm going to put it on the screen. I'm just having a technology issue, it looks like right now, trying to put this on the screen for you guys to even share. There it is. Okay. So all the stuff that Desiree talked about, you are going to get a spreadsheet that looks like this. Now, hear me out, okay? If you're not a spreadsheet person, I got something for you too, okay? Because it can look like it's a little bit intimidating, but it's not. Brandon was gracious enough to bless us with this spending plan worksheet. And you guys, it's really great. Let me zoom it in just a little bit so you can see it, okay? Yeah. So Brandon will be talking more about the stuff that's on here, but I just want to show you, It has a listing of what you need on this spreadsheet. So if you're a spreadsheet person, we have one already put together that you can use. And if you look across the bottom, there's weekly, bi-weekly. So if you click on the tabs, there's different things you can do. I'm just going to go through it really fast to save time, but I will send this to you guys. Okay. So I'm going to see who sticks around to the end to get their freebie, but this is one of the gems that we're going to go ahead and gift you guys with and bless you guys with today. And thank you, Brandon, for that, because it's amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And alongside, Lori, we're gonna also send them some other really, really good worksheets.
I'm going to show you.
Yeah.
I can only share one at a time, but yes.
Because without financial goals, without tools or resources, cannot be accomplished.
All right. So if you're somebody that likes the paper, which I like writing things down too. I think I do a little bit of both, but this is a spending plan that you guys can use. So we put this one together to kind of help you guys as well get your spending plan together and writing out, like Desiree said, everything. You may need a couple of these pages, but we'll send you the template so you can use it.
Yes. And also I do want to add to it, because I feel that we want to express this. I'm not going to lie. Before I got to a place of wanting to grow, I used to be like, who got time for all that? Yeah, I got time for all that. But okay, whatever. But now my mindset is in a different place. And again, to accomplish and be successful in financial goals, you have to have things in place. Let me tell you, other cultures do it.
Yeah.
They are on top of their finances. I'm telling you, I also used to work for the bank, and when they see a 3-cent charge, a $10 difference, oh, they're calling about
They
their money.
know everything to the
So
penny.
literally, do not be intimidated by having to keep up with your finances. You can do it. Hey, if you sit down at a desk at work, if you're on your lunch break, create a little folder for yourself, put a few sheets in there. It's only 12 months out the year. And also, depending on who you bank with, your bank breaks down your spending finances, you guys. I can literally categorize my account from food to bills or whatever, and it will break it down. So literally, you guys, you have to set yourself up for success.
Amen.
So be sure to utilize these tools, because these tools are what's going to get you to the next level. It is imperative, you guys. The other cultures do it. So can we, and that's why they are successful. That's why they're able to reach different levels within their financial goals. So you guys, take it serious and actually start doing it. Put it on your fridge, put it on your dresser, your nightstand, and every month give yourself one day out the month. You know, if you feel like you don't have the time, give yourself one day out the month where you go through your finances, and that's it, you guys. And you'll be able to keep up with what's taking place.
Amen.
Just wanted to say that.
Thank you for that. Thank you,
welcome.
Desiree. So she's absolutely right. But you still may be thinking like, that still seems like a lot. Like, that's a lot to do, right? Don't worry, because guess what? We're going to help you narrow it down so it's not like overwhelming, and that you have something tangible to help you get there. All right. So let me put my slide back on the screen. All right. Brandon, was there anything that you wanted to add, or are you good? Just making sure.
Yeah.
No, I'm just taking notes, man. Y'all bringing some jewels here. So I'm just over here just taking notes. But no, this is great. Like I said, it all starts with your mindset. Don't get overwhelmed. Like I said, just start with what you can start with now, and just build upon that. Build it brick by brick, just so that's where you got to build your financial home. So
exactly. I give myself one day out the month on a Sunday, and I break down my financial goals, review my account. If I need to print something out, call the bank about something, I'll do it. So yeah.
I love it. I love it. All right. So this part of the presentation, I will be speaking to you guys about the house. Now, we told you kind of like what you need to do, the mindset, buying into it, all that good stuff, what your spending plan should consist of. And you guys are going to get the awesome tools to help you write it out. I wish we had time today to have you guys sit down and write it down, but on your own, make sure you do this, you guys, as you're working on your mindset change. Make sure you're also writing this down and hitting the ground running after this workshop. All right. So I have something on the screen. Okay. Real quick pause break. Raise your hand if you have been secretly wishing reaching your goals was easier.
Can somebody do the work for me?
Yes, right? Can you do it for me? Like, yes. Literally. And there's a lot of automation out there, guys, that can help you get this stuff done too. So we'll talk a little bit more about it. But if you, yes, Nikita's like, be honest. I want you to be honest. Like, we're talking about being transparent. Be honest. Yeah, I know. So I used to be that way. And like Desiree was saying, or Brandon was saying that, we haven't always been on this level, and we don't always get it right. And that's okay. One thing I mentioned earlier is that every day can be your day one. So even if you don't get it right today, remember, we're letting guilt go. We're not holding on to that guilt. We're letting it go, and we're going to try again. All right. So hopefully by the end of this workshop, you will feel that your goals are easier. I'm going to give you the cheat code to making it easier today. Okay. Yes. All right. And you see, you're not alone. Everybody raised their hand. So sometimes we can be feeling like, is it just me feeling like this? Or do other people have these same struggles that I'm going through? It's not just you. I promise you, it's not just you. Mm-hmm. I'm going to share some statistics with you guys that may surprise you about how many people struggle with setting goals and achieving those goals. All right. But real quick backstory. So these are my 4 girls. As I mentioned to you guys earlier, I have 4 daughters. So my oldest is 21. This is kind of a picture from Thanksgiving, I think last year, but these are my girls. Why am I sharing this with you guys? You're probably like, who cares? Okay. Here's why I'm sharing it with you guys. Transparency moment. These are my why. We're going to talk today about finding your why. My daughters are my why. And as a single mom and a girl mom, my girls look to me for all of this advice, all of the knowledge. They're counting on me. And I'm sure there's people in you guys' lives too who are counting on you. And you got to find your why. What are you doing all of this for? And hopefully, of course, number one, you're doing it for you, but whatever it is that's going to keep you motivated on those tough times. So my little backstory, thank you. Quick backstory. So I mentioned earlier, about today being my quitiversary, right? So last year I took the leap of faith and decided to open my tutoring company full time. So I'm the owner of Lee's Tutoring Academy, as I mentioned earlier. And I'm sharing this with you guys to basically just say, like, once you know where God is taking you, or you find your why, it's going to propel you to where you need to be. And my daughters, they surprised me last year when I took that leap. They surprised me. And I thought they were going to be freaking out. I thought they were going to be like, what? You quit your job? Like, what are we going to do for money? Or blah, 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 blah. But that was my mindset back then. A year ago, my mindset wasn't where it is today, right? And so my daughter, Mariah, who's the one on the right, she tells me, she's like, when I told them I decided to leave my prior job, she wasn't even surprised. She was like, oh, okay. I know you can do it. My oldest daughter said, I know you can do this. I know you can do it. I had been doing it, but see, it just takes, again, having the people around you, even down to my children, looking up to me. So, and like Brandon was saying, like your spouse, it could be your spouse is your accountability partner. I'm not saying my kids are my accountability partner, but I'm just saying finding your why. So my kids help me stay focused on what my why is. And so I just wanted to share with you guys who my daughters are. They are my why, and they keep me going. All right.
So beautiful. She
Thank
makes
you.
gorgeous kids.
Thank you. They keep me on my toes, especially Winter. Winter is the little one. She keeps me on my toes, guys.
Yes.
All right. So that's my little backstory about my why. All right. So let's get right to it. So first of all, what exactly is a goal? Because we may have an idea in our head of what a goal is, but do you really know, like, specifically what is a goal? So the definition of a goal is, according to Wikipedia, a goal is a desired result or possible outcome the person envisions, plans, and commits to achieve. Okay, that's a lot of words to say what we're going to talk about in the next couple of slides about what is a goal, how do I get there, et cetera, et cetera. All right, let me move on to the next slide. All right. And then another question that comes up a lot is, why do we even set goals? What's the purpose? Why? Well, goals give you a sense of direction. So if you don't have a sense of direction, you're just going to be all over the place. And then you're going to find yourself looking back years later and saying, coulda, shoulda, woulda. Yeah. That's the why you want to set your goals. They give you a direction. They allow you to stay mentally and physically focused on the road where you want to go. So I'm sure a lot of us, if you're here today, you have a vision in your mind as far as where you want to be, say 10 years from now, 20 years from now. But how are you going to get there? How are you going to move down that road towards achieving what that vision is in your head? Well, you got to set some goals, and you've got to set some realistic goals. And that's what we're going to talk about. All right, real quick stat though. So I mentioned I was going to share with you guys a stat. Okay. I want you to take a look at this. I found that this is really interesting. So if you notice across the top, I've got some things that say 30 times more successful, 10 times more successful, and may not succeed. So here's how it goes. People who to the far right are the people who don't set any goals at all, which we were just talking about, okay? Who don't set goals. 83% of people don't bother to set goals. That's huge.
That's what I said earlier. Like, sometimes you're like, oh, that's too much to do.
Yes, they give up right out the gate. Don't even try. Or they don't, so they may set a goal and they may say, well, I didn't meet that goal. So they give up entirely. Okay. So we don't have any goals, or maybe their goals didn't pan out. Goal setting can be hard if you don't set it the right way, and people quit easily on it. So, and I've done it. I'm not just talking about you guys. Like, I've had goals and then I just gave up and was like, oh, this is too much. I can't do this, before I knew what I do today. So that's why I want to make sure I share with you guys a realistic approach to reaching your goals. All right. Then look at the next stat though. If you do actually have a vision in your head, you're actually 10 times more successful, and you actually are going to be on a path to be able to reach that goal. So people who actually have visions and ideas and goals, the visionaries, if you will, are 10 times more successful in life. Why? Because a lot of times that goal, that vision you have, turns into a reality. And here's why. We want you to turn that vision into something that you write down. So we're big on writing things down. And that's why we're going to give you guys tools to help you actually put it on paper. And I'm going to share a scripture with you that even solidifies why we need to write things down. But look at the percentage. Only 3% of people actually take that final step and write their goals down. 3%.
But they're 30 times more.
But 30 times more successful. You achieve 30 times more success when you actually write it down. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that is?
Because guess what? When I be going through my junk and scrambling through paper, I'll be like, oh snap, I wrote this back in 2020.
Yeah,
I'm doing it.
And you're doing
I'm
it.
doing it.
So there, honestly, it may seem like far-fetched, but there is something to actually taking the time to write your goals out.
Yes.
So I want you guys to look at this screen, take a screenshot if you have to remind yourself that you can do this and you're going to be successful. Even if you take that step of writing it down and making the vision or writing the plan and making it plain, you'll actually be more successful. I promise you.
Right.
All right, so let's talk about what kind of goals there are, okay? So there's basically, we can sum up goals into two types, short-term goals and long-term goals. I'm sure I'm not telling you guys anything that you have never heard before, right? But I have little definitions, but I wanna go a little bit deeper, all right? So short-term, I wanna actually have it flip-flop. I wanna actually start with the long-term goals, okay? So the long-term goals are more far-reaching because these goals take longer to achieve. That's obvious, right? But when I say long-term goals, let me tell you guys something. When you're thinking about your goal setting today, okay, your long-term goals are going to be your goals that you want to achieve when you're 70, 80, 90 years old. When you get to be 70, 80, Lord willing, 90, or even just say 60, 70, 80, okay? When you get to be that age, retirement age, you want to be able to say, when I look back on my life, I've arrived. I did everything that I wanted to do to get to this point. I'm the person at 70 that I saw myself being when I was 30, 40, 50, okay? So that's the mindset you have to be thinking when you're setting long-term goals. And I'm gonna give you an example of what a long-term goal would be, but so a long-term goal could be, I see myself retire. I'm just gonna give you an example. So let's say you see yourself being retired at 60, owning your home, and maybe you say, I want to travel around the world. I want to have gone to all 5 continents in the world, right? Okay, that's a long-term goal. So by the time I get 60, 70, I'm there. But how do I get there? Okay, you get there by your short-term goals, okay? It all starts with your short-term goals, all right? So I'm gonna come back to long-term goals, but I wanna say something about short-term goals. So the short-term goals are the goals you can achieve in a short period of time, and we're gonna get specific and tell you what those are. But that's the thing, like, those are the things like, for example, you wanna finish college. Okay, well, have you filled out an application? That's the first step, right? People, I can guarantee you, people who are sitting with a college degree right now, guess what they did? They took the first step and applied, okay? They took the next step and actually maybe went and sat down with an admissions counselor to see what they need to do to get into school. So those are the short-term goals that get me to my long-term goal, which is graduating from college or getting my bachelor's or my master's. So when you're sitting down with your goals, people confuse short-term and long-term goals. The long-term goals that we're thinking of is like retirement, okay? That's more long-term, but you got to start today. You've got to start now if you want to be that person that you see yourself being when you get there.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Thank you. All right, so before let's talk about the elephant in the room, okay? Unrealistic goals, okay? Now this is a big pitfall. One of the biggest pitfalls is setting unrealistic goals. All right. So I think I have to talk about the elephant in the room because we've given some good stuff about the positive aspects, the mindset, but we've got to be realistic too, right? Okay. So let's talk about what are unrealistic goals. All right. Unrealistic goals are untimely, meaning you don't have any sort of a time, or maybe they don't even align with the timing in your life right now. The goal has to be something that can align with your timing. And we'll talk more about what that kind of looks like. Some goals require too many resources. There's too many moving parts to your goal. And that could be another reason why you're not succeeding or achieving your goals. Or one of the biggest ones is your goals being too general. Again, we talked about it. You have to be specific. Like the example I gave you guys earlier, as far as like, you want to lose weight. Well, that's a vague goal. That's too general. You got to get more specific than saying, I want to lose weight, okay? Or whatever that goal is. We need to be specific. All right, so don't fall into that pitfall. Are you gonna say something?
No.
Oh, okay, I thought you were gonna say something. All right. So instead, we're gonna set SMART goals. Now, some of you may have heard of SMART goals, and they are literally that. Figuratively speaking and literally speaking, they are very SMART goals that you want to set. And SMART goals will help you win, win, win. So I love this slide because every direction leads you to win, win. I wish I could have played some music to play that for you guys. I was thinking that. Yeah. That's what I saw. So I'm like, that's exactly the vision I have. is us winning. Okay. So let's talk about this whole thing with SMART goals. All right. So if you have never heard of SMART goals, whoops. If you've never heard of, can you still see my screen?
Mhm.
Okay. It says that it's paused. Uh-oh.
It is. Go to the next. Sorry. I said because I was looking at you.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah, it said it was paused on my computer. Okay, sorry about that, guys. All right, so SMART goals. SMART goals stands for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. All right. So instead of just sitting here reading a slide to you, I really just want to put it into a real life application. You guys can definitely take a screen grab of this page, but it's very, very important to set SMART goals and specific. Okay. I talked about it earlier. Your goal needs to be very specific. So I'm going to use the one about weight loss because that's just the easiest one to think of. And it's the new year. Most people are trying to lose weight or go to the gym, whatever the case may be. Whatever your goal is, here's the question that it should answer. Okay. First of all, what is your goal? Like specifically. So someone said buy a house. Brandon said he's going to
fire her boss.
Fire your boss, things like that. Okay. Now, how often or how much and where will it take place? So these are some of the questions that you've got to start asking yourself when you're trying to say, well, is my goal specific? It needs to be able to answer these questions, and then you'll know if it's specific. Measurable, all right? You need a way to measure your goal, measure your level of achievement, okay? Some type of measurement.
That's that accountability partner.
That accountability partner, right? So you can say, I want to lose weight in 90 days, okay? 90 days is my measurable goal. I can't just say I want to lose weight. No, I have to actually say I want to lose weight in 90 days, let's say, okay? So it has to be something that's actually measurable. And then achievable. We want it to be something realistic. You can't say I want to lose 30 pounds in a week. Is that realistic? Well, you may end up in the hospital if you try to lose 30, 40 pounds in a week. Yeah. So it's got to be achievable, okay? Something that's achievable. So it means your goal is reasonable. The goal should definitely push you, but it shouldn't be completely out of your reach. There's a saying that says your reach should always exceed your grasp. I like that quote. It does motivate you, but what we're talking about here is something that you actually can achieve. And we're going to talk about how you can achieve that goal. And then of course, realistic kind of goes with achievable. Okay. Is your goal and your time frame realistic? Those two go hand in hand. And then for the goal that you've established. And then of course, like I mentioned, you've got to put a time on it. Give yourself a time limit. The best time limits, honestly, are 90 days. I love doing 90-day goals. I'm going to give you guys an example right now. I'm doing a 90-day plan where I've kind of what we call brain dump. I've gotten all of my ideas on paper. I love to brain dump. And then when you brain dump, yes, I love that. How much weight do you want to lose?
I wanted to touch base really quick on Agnes' statement.
She said something, I didn't see it.
She said her short term is to fire her boss in 2022. And she posted a long-term goal, which is 2026. That's achievable. That means she has already done the SMART steps. So that's a great example, you guys. Agnes put in the chat.
I love that. Thank you. And I think someone else just commented something in the chat.
Yeah, that was Agnes. She was saying it must be more specific how much weight do you want to, for example. Yeah. So exactly. She's on the money.
I love it. So you guys are already getting it. And that's exactly what it is. So if you've never used SMART goals, I've used it. I'm going to give you guys something else real life. Last year, like I told you guys, when I quit or fired my 9-to-5, one of the things that I did in that time is I also used this method, okay? Because you can't just do things arbitrarily and expect it to fall on your lap. You actually have to put in the work. So SMART goals helps you put in the work, but in a realistic way, all right? And then the thing about it too is with your goal time frames, you want to make those realistic and start with what I call low-hanging fruit. What I mean by low-hanging fruit is it's easier to get to that fruit, right? Because it's that low-hanging fruit. And what I mean is you want to make sure you give yourself a time frame. And I think one of the things I wrote it down earlier, Brandon had said, which was really good, is small changes, big results. I loved when he said that. And it's very, very true. You can do small things that get you to the bigger goal. Right. But the first step, again, is being specific in what is that goal that you're trying to get to and what is the time frame you're giving yourself to get there. All right, so I have on here 2 weeks, 3 months, or 1 year. The time frame really just depends on the goal that you're setting, and we're going to help you narrow that down so it all the pieces kind of fit together. Right. Thank you. All right, so I just put this on the screen to show you guys. This will be another freebie that I'm going to send to you guys. So you'll be able to fill out today. I encourage you to take the time to sit down today and answer the questions on the sheet. So setting realistic goals and achievable outcomes. I'll send this guys to you or send this to you guys. I'll send it to you, but this is what it'll look like. And this is how you can kind of get started. I want to propel you in the right direction today. And you can use this template or your own, but this is just a guide to kind of help you guys get to that next level of SMART goals. And the last thing I'm going to share with you guys, because I think I'll try not to go over our time, is a scripture, because I am a faith-based woman as well. And Habakkuk 2:2. This is one of Desiree and I's favorite quotes. It's so true. The Bible even tells us, write the vision and to make it plain. This quote, this scripture really resonates with me, because as I look back through my journal or different things that I've written down, even as recent as last month and last year, there's something to, again, writing it down. And when I look at what I wrote down, let me give you another example. So people make vision boards. Why do you think people make vision boards? There's a reason why people make vision boards. Now, there's two reasons. Some do it because it looks pretty and they're like, in the moment, New Year's resolution, this is what we do. But others, like us, because I'm going to say us because I believe that you're here and you're the us, you're the other group, the group that actually writes that vision out to make it plain, and because they are going to get to that place. And there's something about seeing that vision come to life. And that's why I love doing vision boards too. So whether you're a vision boarder, writing it down, however it goes, but it needs to be on paper somewhere in order for you to get to that goal. Why? It's a trick in your mind. And again, it goes back to the mindset. In your mind, when you're constantly seeing something over and over and over again, it begins to manifest itself in your life. And you'd be surprised at the power of writing things down and moving in that direction of what you wrote down.
Yes, that's good.
I love writing things down. All right. So just to kind of recap, or just to leave you with this. All right. I know we said set one goal, and I'm definitely encourage you to set one financial goal, but what are your top 3 goals for 2022? Some of you have already alluded to what your top 3 goals are for 2022, but write those things down. You don't have to share it with me, but now that you kind of have a feel for the SMART goals, I want you to start being more intentional with your financial goal setting. And I'm all about financial wholeness. So everything all the way around, just sit down today or whenever you have a moment. I like to sit down weekly, like between Friday, Saturday, and Sunday personally, and figure out what am I going to do for that next week, whether it's my business, my personal, whether it's meal planning. And I'm going to give you guys something. I'm not going to put it on the screen right now, but I'm going to give you something called a habit tracker. Now, habit tracker, if you don't know what it is, it's going to be great. It's going to allow you to track your habits. So I'm going to give you a real simple example about the low-hanging fruit. All right, so let's say you want to lose weight. Sorry, I keep using that one. It's just a quick one I can use. One thing that you may say as a part of your goal setting, something specific you can do is what? Let's say I'm going to drink more water. Okay, I don't drink enough water, but I need to drink more water. So it's important if you're trying to work out that you stay hydrated, but maybe you don't drink enough water. On your habit tracker, and I'll have to show you guys at the end, but you're going to see there's a space for it. And whatever that habit is that you're trying to develop, and you can track it every single day. If you miss a day, remember we talked about don't feel guilty. Don't beat yourself up. Even if you miss a day in your goals, that's okay. Just pick it right back. Start back where you are or pick it up wherever you left off. Desiree has the habit tracker. Thank you. You printed it out.
Yeah, I did. So this is what it looks like.
If you guys can see that, okay? I just didn't want to waste time to pull it up. But if we have time at the end, I'll pull it up. But I will be emailing it to you. But that's the habit tracker. And it's going to be life-changing. I use that alongside of my SMART goals, alongside of my planner. If you guys have if you're a planner, I recommend planners. If you need sheets for that, I can help you. That's the teacher in me. Okay, guys. So I love putting things together. That's going to help you guys. I even have some budget templates and spending plan templates I didn't show you guys, but I will be sending you. But again, the takeaway is remember your why. Why are you doing this? What is your why? And I'm even going to send you guys, I don't know if I put it on the screen. Did I put the slide on there about, I didn't even look. I didn't. There's an exercise that I'll have you guys do. I'm trying to save like as much time. There's an exercise that you guys are going to be able to do kind of on your own about how you find your why. And I'll send that to you too. But that's it. I yield my mic now.
Yes, thank you so much. That is awesome. That was very informative. Thank you, thank you, thank you. She dropped some good nuggets. Now we got Brandon with the big boy stuff now.
Yes, now that we've gone over like the spending plan and how do you set these goals, Brandon's going to go deep, guys. So this is the part you guys definitely, if you weren't already taking notes, You want to take notes now. And Brandon, I'm going to go ahead and give you control. Thank you, Miss Agnes. I really appreciate you.
Amazing.
I hope it blessed you guys. I hope you guys were able to learn something from it. But thank you. So Brandon, I yield my mic. I'm going to actually give you control.
Okay.
Give me like 2 seconds.
All right. So if y'all haven't already, if y'all haven't got something out of this, man, which I know y'all have, but make sure you thank these ladies for putting this on. Make sure y'all put in the chat, give them some claps, do something for them because they just lit it up. I could go home now, man. I already got everything I need for the day. So and again, I encourage y'all, if y'all are here, please make sure you're taking notes. Don't let this be like another thing you did on a Sunday. Like, don't let this be another thing, like, a new year, new me, right? It's gonna be the same you if you don't make changes. So make sure y'all show them some love, make sure y'all show up and support what they're doing for y'all, but like make sure we actually take what we did and apply this stuff. So I think I have control. I think it says I have control now. So I should be able to, there we go, perfect. All right, so, oh, good. Okay, so I'm just gonna, just really quick, they already covered who I am a little bit. Again, just a little bit, I'm talking to you guys, not just from a personal experience, but I do have 9 years in financial coaching. I have 13 years in the industry as well, total, but like 19 years in financial planning, financial coaching, 9 years. We have a team of about 44 licensed agents. We have hundreds, probably 1,000 now clients all over the country. Last year alone, our office helped about 175 new families on top of maintaining the families we already have. So we're coming from a source of experience. So I'm going to give you guys some practical stuff that you can use. And hopefully, if I talk fast, it's only because I'm excited, right? I could do this all day for free. I love talking to people and helping inspire people. So I'm just grateful to have this platform. So I'm going to talk to you guys about how money works. Because at the end of the day, we're not taught. And we said earlier, our people perish for a lack of knowledge. And so first thing you got to start with, and I think these ladies did an amazing job already, mindset. So you have to start with the fact that, hey, I can do this. I'm glad you said that in that last segment. I can do this, right? So I need you to tell yourself, I need you to write it down. I need you to write it down on top of them budget worksheets or spending plans when they send it to y'all, right? I can do this, right? Know that you can get out of debt. You can build your savings. You can get on the path to financial independence. Remember, guys, this is going to be a marathon, not a sprint, right? We have to understand we're going to be in this for the long haul. So first thing you got to do is you got to be able to take control. And our response to the material and the things we have is our responsibility. No one else is going to come here to save us, right? It doesn't matter. If somebody puts, if you're sinking, right, and the ship is going down, and someone tosses you a life vest or a raft, it doesn't mean anything if you don't put it on and get into it. It doesn't mean anything. So you have to participate in your own rescue. So here's the thing. Here's things that you can control first. Paying yourself first. What does paying yourself first look like? I'm going to share that in a little bit. Also, adjusting priorities. I think I don't have to hit that over the head. Ladies already talked about that, right? Some priorities. And if you know that there's certain things that priority you, for some of you, sometimes we got to cut back on expenses, do certain things, right? So Desiree already said the food is her thing. She ain't cutting back, right? So we either got to cut back in some other areas, right? Or we got to increase the income, whatever we got to do. But set your priorities, right? And change your thinking. Because if your mindset is not right, then none of this is even going to matter what we talk about today. You also maybe have to adjust your lifestyle, but remember, if you make any adjustments, those can be temporary. Be willing to do a short-term sacrifice for a long-term gain. Do today the things that maybe other people don't, so later on you can have the things that other people won't, right? So if you can't afford to go to that brunch, if you can't afford to hit Tulum, right? Just because your girl's going don't mean you got to go right now, right? And right now you might give up that 4 or 5 day trip, but later on you might be able to take 2 weeks off when they got to go back to work, right? So you got to think about short-term sacrifice for long-term gain, right? Avoid and maybe earning additional income and transitioning your income a different way, and then avoiding the credit trap and make sure, like they've been talking about this whole time, having a goal, having a plan. That they've already hit that over the head. So I'm just kind of recapping that. So first, here's the things you cannot control. Can't control what's going to happen in the future. Social Security, for those of us that are on the line, I see about average age range for most of us. We don't even need to think about Social Security. At the end of the day, I don't think I want the U.S. government even having a say-so on what my retirement looks like. I can't even trust them to have the time to get elections and voting right. I'm not going to trust them to handle my finances in my future. Let's just keep it what it is, right? You can't control your employer, because here's how many people here realize after this last 2 years that you have no control over that job situation. If they don't need you, they will let you know. They'll let you go. So you have no control over that or what they do. You can't control taxes. That's out of your control. You can't control inflation. Inflation is the silent killer. It's killing a lot of people right now. Inflation, if you don't know what that is, that's the cost of goods and services go up every single year. So maybe some of y'all are feeling like, we'll hit on this later, that, man, I don't know, I'm making the same. I don't know if I don't have any money. It's because you don't. And the reason why is because your income is staying the same, but everything around you is going up more. The average household income right now in the United States, combined income, is the same as it was in 1995. But you can't tell me one thing that you know that costs the same as it did in 95. So if you're making the same, you're actually losing money. So you can't control that inflation, right? Rising costs, we're talking about, and you can't control the risk of a single investment. You always want to diversify yourself. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. But what you can control, you can save for your own retirement. You can control other sources of income. The job might not be able to help you, but you can control your other sources, right? Find ways to reduce your taxes, maximizing your savings. You know what I mean? All this stuff is stuff you can do, and diversity of your investment choices. So first thing I'm gonna talk about is paying yourself first. You know, if you think about it, man, we get hit over the head. If you're an employee right now, you get hit over the head. Let's be honest, right? Before you even see, I remember when I got my first check at 16 years old. I was so happy I worked the finish line. I was making $6 an hour, right? And I was feeling good because all my friends were working like McDonald's and Chick-fil-A, or was baggers, right, on base at the commissary on base, right? And I felt really good when I got my first little check, and I started adding up. I worked 25 hours. I got $6 an hour, and that check came out to a little bit wrong. I knew I was pretty decent in math, but I'm like, what's it? Because that's why I was like, who's FICA, and why are they taking money out my check, right? Social Security, all these different things. So we get hit over the head, but then we get left with the scraps, and we're trying to figure out, okay, well, how do I handle? And you worry about paying everybody else. You got to pay yourself first with what you have. So here's just a simple thing. Take a screenshot of this. In the interest of time, I'm not going to cover it. I just want y'all to be able to see it. But basically, it talks about if you want to calculate how much you've earned, right, and what you're saving. Take your average income, or here's the thing. Take your average annual income, right? Take the amount, the number. This is a reality check for a lot of people. So this is gonna hurt some of you. Like we talked about earlier. Sometimes you got to cut to heal, right? So okay, let's calculate how much you've earned over your lifetime and how much you've actually saved. It's a wake-up call for most of us. Take your average annual income, take time, multiply that by the number of years you work. That tells you how much money you've earned in your lifetime. Then take your amount of personal savings you have in your account right now, divide those numbers, and that tells you the percentage of your income that you've saved. And most of us, if we're going to be real, we're not going to like that number we see. But like we just said previously, the last, I just said I hurt her feelings, right? So just like we just said in the last section, right? We got to be real and be honest with ourselves, and then hear, okay, what every day is a day for a new beginning, for a fresh start. So what happened? This only talk about what you did or didn't do up to today. We can make all those changes start today, right? So take a screenshot of that. Like I said, I don't want to have to spend too much time going on it in the interest of time, but do that exercise, right? Also too, Desiree made a good thing earlier, man. Savings is important, but it's different ways to save. You need to have an emergency fund. That's for emergencies, right? A lot of times people will ask me, well, Brandon, because let me get into this. Emergency fund, you need to have that. You need to have short-term savings and long-term savings, or investments, right? And a lot of times people will ask me, well, Brandon, I really want to start building up my retirement. Well, here's the thing. For most of us at our age range, we're more likely to have an emergency in the next 3 to 6 months than we would to retire in the next 3 to 6 months, right? So if that's the case, why shouldn't we be funding our emergency fund, right? So we need to handle that first, right? An emergency fund, I tell my clients all the time, your emergency fund is not for emergency fund. So what do I mean by that, right? Your emergency fund is for emergencies, not for emergency fund, right? Like, so if one of my boys calls me, hey, Brandon, the pandemic's clearing up, bro. We're trying to go hit Miami this weekend, or we're gonna try to go hit the Miami Florida State game, whatever. And they talk about we're just trying to hit this up or go right now. And if I can't dip into my emergency funds to go handle emergency fund, right? That doesn't, if I don't have that liquid cash, it doesn't mean I don't need to go. I need to man up and tell them, hey, I can't go. And maybe the pain of me telling them I can't go because I ain't got it will force me to do what I need to do to make sure I got it, if that makes sense, right? Let's be honest, right? So, and just a little note, this isn't part of my presentation. I've been in the financial industry now, I said over 13 years, about 9 as a coach. 78% of people in the United States live paycheck to paycheck. So I just want y'all to know that the likelihood that all of your friends are the ones that's living in glory and got all the money is highly unlikely. There's some people, so don't try to do things to impress other people. You got to handle your own finances, because when something happens, they're not gonna be the ones to bail you out. You know why they can't bail you out? Because one, is not the responsibility, and more likely they ain't got it either. So make sure your stuff is handled. And then you got to do your short-term savings and do your long-term savings and investments. But none of this matters without tackling debt. Desiree talked a lot about, we got to get out of debt, guys. You can't build wealth and have debt. Somebody else has control over you, right? They have that, I don't know why, but I don't think it's, I heard a joke recently. It's like, why do they call it the MasterCard, right? The MasterCard, because that's that debt. You become a slave to that debt, right? And, so here's some common credit mistakes. You got a credit, repair specialist on the line. So, she can help you guys with this stuff. The first thing she talked about earlier that Desiree said she didn't do, like a lot of us didn't do. We didn't value our credit early on. Oh, here's the other thing. Okay, I've been paying on time for a little bit. So I remember when I got my first Capital One credit card, my credit was so jacked up, I had to do a secure card. Amen. Somebody have been there, right? So I had to get a secure card. So I had to put my own money up so they could give me credit, right? And then when I kept it on time for a couple months, they bumped my, said, hey, they got smart. They gave me an automatic credit increase. I didn't even have to call. I looked at the thing. I was like, oh, wait, my credit limit ain't $300 more. It's $800 now. So I called and I'm like, what's going on? Oh, we gave you an automatic increase, sir, because you've been paying your bills on time. So what did I do? Instead of budgeting like I had $300 on that card, what I started doing? Budgeting like I had $800, right? So here's the thing. So that got me in trouble. Not monitoring your credit history is a big deal, because you talking about a lot of us talking about buying homes. Make sure your credit history is on point. Not knowing your credit score would definitely affect you. Not knowing your interest rates and fees. Interest makes a big difference, guys. And I'm gonna talk about that here shortly. But here's the thing. These are all key things. Again, I don't want to spend a lot of time on them. Just working on your mindset. Like I said, get with Desiree, because that's the area of her, especially with the credit stuff. But here's compound interest is a big thing we need to know. I'm sorry, I'm gonna try to speed up. I don't want to go too much over time, but I want to make sure I get this stuff to you guys. Just to give an example, interest is not your friend. Banks make money from the interest that you pay. They take money, they lend it out to you, and they collect interest on it. So when you're carrying those balances, they're accumulating more interest. Why do y'all feel, everybody knows, like, you got a credit card bill, or you got a mortgage, or you finance in a car, you keep making payments, but it keeps seeming like the payments ain't going nowhere because it's going into the interest. So here's the thing. Let's say you take $3,000 and you go ahead and swipe that card and finance that trip to Dubai or to Jamaica, whatever, right? You go ahead and swipe that card, you put $3,000 on it. If that card's getting 18% interest, if any of y'all have credit cards, you already know, they all know 18% is kind of low for a lot of credit cards right now. I've seen credit cards right now do 32% interest, 29%, which is crazy. Let's say 18% interest, no new purchase. If you only make the minimum payments, it's going to take you 10 years to pay that trip off or pay that purchase off. And you're going to pay way more than what you originally paid. So, went and enjoyed it, came back and forgot about it. And now you're still paying for this years later for something you don't even have the benefit of enjoying anymore. You're paying more than you ever put into it. Right? So we got to make sure we get it outside of that. No difference between fixed debt and revolving debt, right? So a revolving debt is something that revolves. Credit cards, things like that, right? Loan, like lines of credit, things like that. But what's a fixed debt? Your car note, your mortgage, those are fixed debts, right? Those things can make a huge difference in the way that your debt stacks up, right? So here's just some examples of what that might look like. So $17,000 at 18% on revolving debt is a lot different than $17,000 on a fixed debt. It's a huge difference. Look at the amount of interest you'll pay over time. So knowing those things are important. And here's a concept I teach my clients. It's called debt stacking, or if you follow like Dave Ramsey, it's called a debt snowball. And basically what it is, in short summary, it looks like this. I'm going to work with you and teach you how to, you look at, and it's something you can do. You don't need a financial coach. You don't need a financial advisor. It's something you can do. If you need an accountability partner, get with a coach or somebody, list all the debts, right? And what you're paying every month for all of your debts. But then what you got to do is also find out what the interest rates on theirs are, but here, start with basic simple. And what debt stacking says, I'm going to attack one of these debts first, right? So in this count, I'm going to pay off, I'm paying $200 a month towards this credit card, whatever, to get it down, and ran up so high. Once I pay that money off, instead of saying, oh, I got $200 extra to spare every month, let me go put it towards this. No, I'm used to paying that money anyway. So if I'm used to paying it now, just use that to attack the next debt. So I'm going to pay that off faster. Then I use that to pay the next debt. Use that to pay the next debt. You use that now, I'm knocking out my mortgage. And now think about it, you got a $1,300 mortgage, and you're putting $2,700 a month away towards that. How much faster are you going to pay that mortgage off? Right? A lot faster. So, and here's the thing, if you look at all the payments were the same monthly, it's about how you redirected those payments. And so here's the thing. So if you look at that client right there, they would have taken 23 years to pay off that debt the way it was structured. Who's excited about taking the next 20 years to pay off debt? Nobody on here. Nobody, right? You think about it. But in that same amount of time frame, just by structuring the way you pay them specifically and intently, you can have that debt paid off in 9 years, save over $100,000 in interest, and still with the same monthly payment. That's the magic of debt stacking. So this is a concept that we help and teach our clients daily about how to manage their debt. So hopefully that wasn't too fast. Sorry, y'all. I'm just trying to catch up on the time here, right? So another thing we talk to people is about becoming an owner and not a loaner, right? What do most of us do? We get paid, and most of us, right, where does our money go before we see it? It goes to the bank, right? Your job usually tells you to set up direct deposits, right? Most don't walk around with cash in hand and money goes to the bank. Do y'all know what happens when the money goes to the bank? They take that money and reinvest it in the global economy, and they make billions of dollars off of it. And then they give you back, less than 1% interest on your savings account. So you're trying to figure out, so you think about it. So we want to teach people how to go around the middleman, right? When you go direct to the supplier, right, you get a better deal, right? You're going to say, okay, I'm going to cut out the middleman. If I'm going to invest, I'm not going to do it in a savings account. That's going to give me nothing. So we're going to teach you how to go around the banks, invest directly in the global economy so you can benefit from that for yourself. And one concept we teach people is something called the rule of 72. Again, this maybe take a screenshot of this, but in the interest of time, I'm going to just explain it very, very simply. The rule of 72 is a math formula that come up by somebody who was a lot smarter than me. Have you guys ever heard the name Albert Einstein, right? He came up with this formula for compound interest, and it's called the rule of 72, or often called the banker's rule. And when I explain it, you're going to understand why it's called the banker's rule. The rule of 72 says if you take the number 72, you divide it by whatever interest rate you're getting in your account, whether it's a savings, whatever, you divide 72 by that number. Whatever that number is the amount of years it will take for your money to double. Very simple calculation. So let's take this. So it's not about where you put your money or what you do. It's not about saving or investing. It's about where you do it. So there's 3 of us moderators here in the event today. So say all of us had 10 grand. We all wanted to put it away, right? And say I find an account that's getting 3% interest. Well, 72 divided by 3% interest means my money is going to double every 24 years. If I don't touch it, just set it and forget it, leave it alone. We got Lori Michelle says she took her money, puts it in a 6% interest rate. Her money is 72 divided by 6 is 12. Her money is going to double every 12 years if she doesn't touch it. Desiree puts her money getting somewhere investing, getting a 12% rate of return. 72 divided by 12 is 6. Her money is going to double every 6 years. So if you look at that, all 3 of us put the same amount of money in. I'm never going to be able to retire. I won't even be able to do anything with that money. Lori might say, you know what? She might be able to be okay for a few years, but then she's going to have to go right back to work. Desiree will be financially independent. So it's not about what you do, it's about how you do it. And now you're not going to get this at your bank. You know why? Because your bank is taking that money, they're reinvesting it at 10, 12%, and trying to give you that less than 1%. So if you think about this, it's not working out for you, but this is why they also call it the banker's rule. So we teach people how to go around that and start investing and understanding your investment. You take control of that yourself. So just an example, let's say you had that 10 grand, take it to the bank. Well, I was about to say Wachovia. That means I'm old. Y'all know I'm old if I say Wachovia. I just told my age real fast. I said Wachovia. So I just told you how old I was, right? So Wells Fargo, Navy Federal, wherever, right? And you say, okay, so you take that, let's say they would give you a 1% interest rate. Let's say they give you a full 1%. So that means that year you're going to earn $100 in interest on that year. But then you're going to get taxed on that interest, right? So your net earnings that you grew that whole year was $75. Now, here's the thing. Your resulting balance after a whole year, that money being able to be $10,075. But remember, we have inflation. So that's the cost of goods and services go up every single year. Average inflation in the United States is about 3% a year. Now, this past year, when something called a hyperinflation is around 7%. This is ridiculous what's going on right now. That's why you're feeling like if you were living paycheck to paycheck and now you feel like you broke, that's why. Not your fault. It's not you doing anything. It's the way our cycle is right now. Now, this will correct itself. But here's the thing. If this simple math, if everything's going up in cost by 3% and my money's growing at 1% or less, am I ever going to be able to catch up to the way that's growing? No. And every year you're losing money. So people, I don't want to invest. Investing is risky. The riskiest thing you can do is leave money in your savings account because you're guaranteed, or investments in the market are not guaranteed. But right now in the bank, you're guaranteeing yourself a loss. That's the one thing that you're guaranteeing. So we got to correct that. And, so here's again, investing is not risky, guys. The market on average, has returned about 10% a year for the last 30 years. So this is just showing you as an example. I'm not going to break it all down. If you would just put this says here on these dates here, I think I need to update a little bit, but it says here from 89 to 2019. So for 30 years, if you would just put, $10,000 in the market and let it sit, that'd be worth $172,000, right? And so here's the thing. It's not about where you put your money. I mean, about what you do with just saving. It's about where you put that money and how you do it. And you're not going to get this without getting proper coaching or help. Because the thing is, you Google right now, what's the right retirement age? Where should I be investing? Everybody's got a lot of different ideas on that. But there's certain things, and there's, and I'm not against stuff like NFTs or cryptocurrency. I'm not against any of that stuff. I think you got to diversify. But the thing is, there are proven time-tested principles. You know where you get the information about the market is not good and why I say you get that from banks and the media. Why do you get that? Because they don't need you putting money where they're putting it. Because then you cut them out and they lose their control and grip over you. So if you bypass them and cut them out and take control of yourself, you no longer need them. Banks need us more than we need them. I want y'all to realize that, right? So just understand that. So you got to think about that. And then you're giving yourself time. Time and consistency is key. The problem that we do, whether it's weight loss, whether it's setting goals, whether it's whatever, is we don't use consistency and time on our side. So here's an example. If you made a one-time investment of $1,000, you just got a 9% rate of return, right? Do you know if you did that, if you did at your birth, right? Say if your parents did that for you at your birth, so those who have kids or don't have kids yet, that money today would be $400,000. So at birth, if somebody put $1,000 in your account at birth at a 9% rate of return, by the time you retire at 67, you have $400,000 just off that $1,000 investment letting it sit. Now, if you waited till they turn 16, look at the drastic difference. And what if they wait till they're in their 40s to start investing? Look at the difference. See, so you got to use time, leverage your time, right? We got kids. We got to start doing that. We got to start doing that now. We got to already have them account. As soon as that social security number is valid, we got to start setting up them accounts, right? Don't pay the high cost of waiting. Here's the thing. It said if your goal is to save $500,000 by retirement, which I'm going to just tell you, if nobody ever told you, $500,000 of retirement is not going to give you financial freedom. I'm sorry. Most of us are going to need, especially in our age range, we're going to need $2 million or more. Now, you can do that. It's very attainable if you work with a professional. But here's the thing. Look at the difference here, guys. If you're looking to get $500,000 at retirement, look at the difference that you have to invest based on your age if you wait too long. See, it's possible for everyone, but it's all about where you start. So here's the thing. If you start at $25, that's $89 a month. We blow through $89. I guarantee most of y'all have blown through $89 this week. All stuff you didn't need. I can guarantee it. I guarantee it just because I know me, right? I'm the same way. So,
why you calling me out, Brandon? Why you calling me out?
I didn't put no names on the slide. Right? So I'm just saying, so don't pay the high cost of waiting. Start now, but don't get discouraged of where you are right now. Just correct it and let's move forward. And let's give you the resources to catch up. You can always catch up, right? But here's the thing. So here's the thing. The sooner you do it, the better it's going to be. Compound interest, again, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but again, it is Albert Einstein called compound interest the eighth wonder of the world, right? Because what you're doing is giving your time money to compound and grow, plus the interest and continue to grow and to continue to grow. So if you look at, it says just $100 a month compounding at 9%, totals to more than $470,000 after 4 years. We just talked about that. But look at the difference of investing $20 a month versus $100 a month. Look at the difference. And as you see over time, that difference gets bigger. So just start where you are for right now. That's okay. But then continue to build up and grow over time. So again, rate of return is key. We hit over this earlier, so I'm not going to take a whole lot of time on this. But again, a one-time investment of your money for $1,000, right? If you just look at where you put that money, it makes a world of difference for yourself and for your kids. So it's not just about, yes, we have to start somewhere, but it's not just about what you do. It's about how you do it and where you put it. That's a huge, huge, huge difference. And again, this is advice you're going to get working with a financial professional. Don't just go to your bank. Them tellers they don't know. They're not even required to, they get paid an hourly rate, whether you show up in there and take money out that account or not, right? You got to work with a professional who cares about you, specific to your situation, right? Because everyone's financial situation and needs are different. So that's why it's important. So if I'm going too fast for y'all, let me know. I'm sorry. I'm just fired up and I'm trying to keep it on the time, right? Big thing earlier, Desiree said, y'all get y'all life insurance in place. Please. I can't, I hate, it's hard for me to sit around and watch these GoFundMes, man. I hate it. And Desiree said earlier, GoFundMe is not the answer, man. You guys understand GoFundMe I posted about this a couple times a year just for people to be educated, but GoFundMe is a for-profit organization. Y'all know that a lot of times, if you set a campaign on GoFundMe, right, you realize that you don't get all that money. They take a service charge off of every transaction that goes in, and then they take a service charge when the money comes out on the back end too. Also with GoFundMe, if you don't meet the campaign total, a lot of times that money gets refunded back to the person. You don't even get the money. So let's say you're trying to raise $20,000 for that funeral. You only get 10. You're not going to get the 10 because they're going to refund that back to the people and say the campaign is closed. So you got to make sure you have proper life insurance. One of the big mistakes that people make with life insurance is just not planning for it properly. So here's the thing, guys. How much is your car worth? Realistically, we pay for a depreciating value. You drive that car off the lot, it depreciates every single year, but you have insurance on it. Why? One, because the state tells you to, they're going to suspend your license. But two, because you understand if that thing gets broken down or gets in an accident, you want to have money there to replace it because you know you don't have 10, 15, 20, 30 grand to go buy a new car. How much your house is worth? You have insurance on your house because something happens, right? You want to be able to, something happened, you want to be able to make sure the house can be taken care of or then replaced or whatever. But how much is your life worth? Right? I think a lot of times we think about life insurance the wrong way. We need to think about life insurance. I tell our clients, think about it as security, wealth building, and income replacement. That's what we have to think about because, yes, my life might not be worth it. I don't have a dollar amount assigned to my life, right? But I have a dollar amount assigned to the value that I bring to my household and the contribution I make to my household financially every single month. And no, if I pass away, I know Latrice's gonna be sad, right? For at least for a little bit, right? She'll be all right. She'll be sad. She'll mourn, right? I know my daughter's gonna be sad, but they'll never be able to bring me back, right? But they can still keep the household running as if I were here. They can take the time to grieve. Cause let's be real. Let's stop getting this burial insurance, y'all. That's a big pet peeve of mine. Because here's the thing: you got to get insurance to pay for a funeral burial. That's funeral gonna be on Saturday. Are you really going to be in the right frame of mind to go back to work on Monday? But you know why a lot of people do? Because they don't have the money to stay home and grieve. They can't pay for therapy accounts. They can't take time off and get their mind right. So they got to go back to work and underperform at their job because their mind's not right. Or they force themselves through it because they can't force to think about it because they got to make money, right? So they go to work, never had a chance to grieve. And then you wonder why they have a breakdown 6 months or a year later because they never gave themselves time to properly recover and grieve. Life insurance not only replaces your income, but can give you some breathing room when a loved one passes, so you have time to heal and get yourself together before you have to go yourself back out in the workforce. So that's important. So let me see if I still have the control here. Great. So this is something I teach our clients, something called the theory of decreasing responsibility. What that means is in life, we're going to go through phases. So you want to make sure you have financial products and services that equate to those phases. So let's talk about this. In the early years, most of us don't have that much money, right? In the early years, but we have a lot of what? Liabilities and responsibilities, meaning the loss of our income could be devastating to whoever we leave behind. But in the later years, right, we need to have money for retirement, but we may not have any more responsibilities because our kids should be growing out of our house or doing whatever they're doing, right? Our debt should be lower, our mortgage should be paid off, right? We need retirement income. So in the early years, you need to have insurance coverage enough to cover those things that are important to you while you're building your wealth and your assets. So over time, you may no longer need life insurance because you have assets, you have money. So life insurance is like renting wealth until you're able to own it. And it creates an instant estate for your family. So and at the end of that time frame, if you still want to keep both for maybe some estate planning purposes, great. But you should not need life insurance in your 60s and 70s if you save and invest it properly. And that's what we teach people to do. That's a major key, right? So here's some things I tell people, right? There's a lot of things out there, and I'm not gonna dispute anybody on every type of different products and stuff. I want to tell you what I do for what we do, what I look at for clients. I believe a proper strategy is having a strategy called buy term and invest the difference. Getting proper term life insurance to cover you for a specific term or time frame as you have a great financial responsibility in investing. There's a lot of products right now, cash value products, whole life, universal, variable life, all these different things. IULs are really important, really popular right now, especially in the Black community. They're really popular right now. But here's the thing: overall, most of these plans don't work out for most people long term, and I'm going to tell you why. First of all, here's how this works: they're typically higher in cost and premium, where a lot of people don't have a lot of money to pay. They usually target people that have a little bit more money because they can afford to pay the premium. So let's talk about how this works. Say you have your coverage here for you and your family. You see that here on the left-hand side. Say you have a premium, then you have your cash value is going to build up. In those type of policies, most of the time, not all, but most of the time, the cash value is going to be in a separate account that's going to be reinvested by the insurance company. They're going to take those premiums that you pay every month. They're going to take some that goes to insurance part to a savings plan. However, they don't usually a lot of time explain the full workings of savings plan. A lot of time that money has to be in there for a certain amount of time before you have access to it. Also, another thing they don't explain a lot of times is when you pass away, if you use that money, it is going to be treated like a loan. So a lot of times people ask me, I want the life insurance that I can borrow out of. But I want to ask you this. If you open your account at Navy Federal today, right? Or I'm about to say Wachovia again, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, whatever, right? And you say, I need to go to the ATM. You went to take your ATM card right now and went to the ATM and they said, okay, go ahead and take this $200 out, but you need to make sure you put $250 back in next week. Would you keep banking with that bank? And the reason why you're saying why, because the reason why you just said no is because like, why would I have to pay them back my own money? That makes no sense, and pay them more than what I took out. This is how a lot of cash value plans work, because you're paying money into it. That money's growing at a certain interest rate. If you don't live to a certain amount of time to where you have the surrender chart of it, you're going to have to borrow that money, which means you're borrowing money that you put in. And if you borrow something, that implies that what? It has to be paid back. And how many things that you know of that you borrow and pay back at the same rate you borrowed it at? Almost never, right? You're always going to pay interest. That's how they make money. So when we teach our clients to get low cost, high value term life insurance to cover a specific term or time frame in which they have the greatest financial needs or responsibilities. And then from there, over time, they're going to be investing in the market, keeping insurance and investment separate, investing in the actual market themselves so they can reap the return. So if you look here, just an example of it, somebody put $295 away a month in two different products, two different incomes, right? So here's the thing. Every situation is different for everyone. So everyone's situation may be different. That's okay. I'm just speaking in general terms for a majority of the population. The strategy on the right works out better because that money in your IRA is yours. It belongs to you. And if you pass away, your family gets both. As opposed to all the cash value insurance, your family with the death benefit will usually not get the cash value benefit if you die before age 100, in some cases, age 120. Well, here's the problem. If the average American person lives to be between 83 to 86 years old, but you don't have the rights to the money free and clear until you're 100, what happens to the money? Well, see, why they said it that way, because they know that most people are not going to make it to 100. So here's the thing. You think about paying for something your entire life, when it's time for your family to get it, you've been paying for two things and they end up with one, but you're not even here around to help them out through that process because now the bank's taking all that. And so you want to think about, they've been making money off of that stuff for the entirety of your life by reinvesting in the global economy and getting those higher interest rates. So this is a fundamental principle we teach. If you think about any, you look here, just the outcome's a lot different. Again, if you look at any independent financial specialist that's not tied to an insurance company or bank, most independent financial coaches will tell you that that's buy term invest difference is a more efficient strategy for most people. Yeah, there's some people that have other high net worth or some things they might want to do with life insurance that's different. But for most of the people we work with in the African American community, minority communities, an average person that's we talk about 78% of people who live check to check, that's going to be the best thing. So never buy insurance as an investment. Don't buy a policy that pays dividends. If your life insurance policy pays dividends is just a return of overpayment of premium. That's what a dividend is on life insurance. Also, too, don't let somebody tell you that life insurance is an investment if it does not require an investment license to sell it. I want you to just keep that in mind. If you're working with a financial professional, investments are a federally regulated thing. The financial services industry is the highest regulated industry in the world. So if someone tells you to use insurance as an investment, but it does not take an investment license to market it, can you legally call it an investment? Just think about that. If it doesn't require a federal investment license as an investment product, it is not a true investment. So just know that, right? So again, last thing we'll talk about is understanding, taxation and understanding retirement. Because the goal, all of us at some point want to stop working for money, right? Like most of us do not want to go around saying, hey, I want to work till we die, right? We want to take time to enjoy it. And you think about this, right? The concept of working for 40, 50 years for somebody else, or even for yourself, right? And then having to try to retire and enjoy your life in your last 10 to 15 years, right? So retirement is not really an age, it's a number. I tell our people that all the time. It's a number, and everyone's number is different. But I want you to understand how retirement works and how taxes, because let's be honest, I know it's tax season right now. A lot of people get excited about getting money back. Most are not excited about paying, right? Nobody likes to pay taxes. So here's the thing. What's some things you can do when it comes to retirement and taxes? Understand the difference between what's considered a deduction and what's considered a deferral. Those are two different things. So a deduction is the amount of money you can subtract from your gross income. right? It says the more you can reduce your gross income with, with deductions, the less taxes you'll pay. So it's always good to have tax deductions. A lot of tax, especially y'all know, is y'all going to find them clients some deductions, right? That's going to save them a lot of money against their taxable income. What's a deferral though? A deferral is when you put something to later. You defer it till later. So right here, so you deferral of payment of current taxes until a later date. Commonly, this is more specialized for retirement stuff. So here's one example that looks like. A lot of times people ask me, well, Brandon, what should I invest in? Do I want to get an IRA, but what kind? Should I have my 401k? I'm not going to hit on 401ks today, but I'm going to tell you, if your employer offers you a 401k and you are not utilizing it, you are missing out on one of the biggest advantages you can ever have in finance. Here's the thing. The federal government, we don't get a whole lot of stuff right, allows you to put money away that's not taxed at the moment and lets your employer match the money you put away. Like when we were growing up, right? You think about it, all of us, or even us with kids, or when we were kids, if your parents told you every time you put $10 in your jar, we're going to put $10 in that jar too. Or you put $1 in a jar, we'll put $1 in. How many of us would have try to find more dollars? We would have found a way to put more money away because we knew mom and dad was going to match it. Where your employer basically says you can put sometimes up to 6-7% of your income to the side and we'll give you the same amount of money. Your employer is giving you free money. So take that, right? Now, here's a tip on 401ks. I don't believe personally that you should contribute more to your 401k than what your company allows. Doesn't make sense. So what do I say? Or more than what they match. What do I mean by that? If your company matches 6%, why are you going to put 10% of your income in there? They're only going to match you up to 6. So they're going to say they're going to match you to 6. Get them that same energy, right? Put 6 in and let them give me 6. Take the other 4% and invest it separately. That's my thought process on that. So a lot of times people ask me about the different types of IRAs. I'm only going to talk about 2 in the interest of time. And I'm talking about my favorite one, which is actually the last one. So a lot of times people get an IRA, a traditional IRA. Traditional IRA is how traditional. So here you have tax savings now, and you have a deferral until retirement. So what happens is you can put up to $6,000 of your money each if you meet certain income requirements. So you and your spouse can put the $6,000 on top of your, on top of your gross income, which reduces your taxable income. You postpone the payment of taxes on the earnings until you're withdrawn in the future, commonly at retirement. So what does that mean? For putting money in traditional IRA, you can take $6,000 of your gross income and reduce your taxable income. So they say if you made $50,000 last year, you put $6,000 in your traditional IRA, the IRA is going to say you made $44,000. Does that make sense, y'all? So it means you're going to get taxed on the 44, not the 6 or not the 50. But those taxes are going to be deferred until later. So now that's a benefit. Now, let me talk to you before I get into the Roth IRA. Here's the thing I want to tell you about. With a traditional IRA, I want you guys to think about how taxes work, right? Or just how anything works. If I don't pay tax, I'm always going to pay taxes. I can't get around that, right? So the 2 things in life that we guarantee is death and taxes, right? So think about this. If I don't pay taxes on my money now, when am I going to have to pay it? I'm going to have to pay it later, right? Y'all remember that Martin episode, right? It costs you a little, might cost you a lot, but either way, it's going to cost you, right? The plumber, right? So DP, right? Shout out to DP, right? So here's the thing. If you, with a traditional IRA, let me go back here. If you're not paying taxes now, but it means when you retire, all the money that you had not been taxed on, you will now be taxed on in retirement. Because Uncle Sam says, hey, Agnes, thank you for putting that money in, but guess what? I never got my piece of that, right? So now that you've taken it out, I got to eat now. So thank you. So I'm going to get taxed on all that money plus the gains on it. But in a Roth IRA, here's what a secret sauce is, right? Because the contributions are not tax deductible, but they're tax deferred. So you've already made money, taxes come out your check, you put money into a Roth. The contributions are made with after-tax money. So what does that mean? You already paid tax going before the money went in, so you're not required to pay it when it comes out. Here's the thing: when you withdraw the money from an IRA, none of it from a Roth IRA can be taxed, as long as you've had the account for at least 5 years and you wait till age 59 to have to take it. I want to say that again: all the money you put into a Roth, the money will not be taxed when you take it out, as long as you've held the account for 5 years and you use it starting at 59 and a half. The other difference is with a Roth IRA that there is no minimum distribution age. So if you don't want to retire to 75, whatever, you can hold that money. Whereas in a traditional IRA, they do make you have to take the money out by age 70. If you don't withdraw the money by age 70, you're going to get hit a penalty on it. So just kind of summing it all up, traditional IRA, Roth IRA, take a screenshot of this. The updated limits are in there that the government gives you. This is a summary of what I just covered. And if you have questions about it, don't ever hesitate to reach out and we can point you in the right direction. But if for most of us, or 99% of us, a Roth IRA is going to be what most of us are going to need to retire, because we save money on the front end, money's not taxed on the back end, and we can take it out as long as, and take it out with no minimum age requirement. You don't have to start taking them at a certain time. So that's where it's going to be. So my final thoughts, guys, I know I packed in a lot. I know we kept it fast, but I just want to share with you guys, financial independence, it starts with understanding a few basic concepts and implementing them. We heard from the speakers, taking small incremental steps. I tell our team, I tell our clients all the time, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, right? So, it's what I said is a little, funny saying, but that's it. You just take little steps, right? You'll eventually get there. And winning the financial war is only winning little battles, right? There's no war that you ever saw that was initiated and completed on the same day. Like somebody had to win a series of battles first to declare and then they could declare a victory, a team conceded. So you win this little battle here, let's knock out the debt. You win this little battle here, start saving, work on that budget. And overall, you will win the war. You will go ahead and get to what your goal is. And if you put together a small, simple plan and follow it, you'll really be amazed at the progress that you make. It's little steps over time that are going to help you get there. So don't feel overwhelmed. Don't feel like you're not worthy. Don't feel like you can't do it, because you can. Again, so we got to take steps. Just to summarize, continue to set those goals like we heard the speakers talk about. Pay yourself first. Take a portion of your income every month and start dedicating to your financial goals. Start adjusting your priorities. Change the way you think about money, and then change the way you think about yourself and what you deserve. You deserve to be wealthy. You deserve to have. You deserve to not be in lack. You deserve to be able to have the things you and your family have. You deserve those things. There's nothing wrong with having them. And I want to and nobody said this, but I want to say it because somebody I feel like needs to hear this. Do not let people tell you that money is the root of all evil. That is not true. The Bible does not say money is the root of evil. It says for the love of money is the root of all evil. What does that mean? When you have all you care about is money, you may be compromised to do things at any cost to get money and attain it and keep it, right? But having money is not a bad thing, right? If you think about it, and I don't want to get too scriptural here, too biblical, right? But here's the thing about it. We know Judas ended up betraying Jesus, right? With everything, but Judas was the treasurer for the group. So if Jesus had to walk around with somebody holding the money bag, that means Jesus walked around with some money. You don't need somebody to hold the bag if you don't have the money in the bag, right? Here's the thing. And a lot of our challenges that we have right now can be solved with more income, right? We can't fix everything with money. Money doesn't fix everything. If I'm an unhappy person, making more money is not going to make me happy. If I'm a bad person, if I'm a big giver, it'll maybe make it. Money is a mirror. It's not a determining factor of who you are. Meaning, if you're a big giver and have a big heart, you'll just be a bigger giver when you have more money. If you're a spender and have bad habits, you'll spend more when you have more money, which means, that's why you see a lot of people who don't have the right money mindset. You watch some stories of people become millionaires with the lottery and then they squander it all, or people who got big inheritance squander it because they never were taught financial principles and their mindset about money wasn't right. Adjust your lifestyle even if you need to temporarily. I went through a phase, man. I got really good at having to learn how to cut my own hair because when I was broke, I couldn't afford to go. And haircuts when I was in high school was $10. When I went to college, it was $15. They were $20 if I wanted to skip the line, right? If I was to skip the line and pay $20 ahead to jump to somebody else, now the same haircut I get now, haircut and beard is $30, $40 after I put in a tip. So I remember went through a phase where I had to learn how to cut my own hair for a little bit. Nobody knew. They knew the first couple ones because but after a while they might not know, right? But what I'm saying is, if you got to get some press on, you got to do whatever you got to do, right? You got to do what you got to do temporarily so you don't have to do it later, right? And then again, avoid the credit trap, make some additional income, have goals and set a plan. And that's really my part. I'm done. I know I went a little bit longer. I was trying to speed through it. But here's the thing, guys. If you ever need me for anything, my social media is there, phone numbers, take a screenshot. Hit me up. I'm really excited to see Valencia on the line, one of my favorite clients. She's been a great client for us, a great referral source for us. If you guys need me, just know that I'm here to help at any time. So I'm going to turn it back over to our host. Again, thank you guys for this amazing opportunity. I hope that we're able to bring some value. Let me know how I can be a resource for you guys in the future.
Hey,
Great job.
Good job, Brandon. Thank you. Dropping those gems. Yes. We needed to hear that. The people need to know. And we're so sorry that you had to rush through that. I'm so sorry, Brandon, that you had to rush through that. But that was really, really good, really amazing. I know it blessed me. I was over here taking notes. I can't wait to watch the replay.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. For all of our guests, everyone who registered, thank you so much. We are going all the way up. 2022, there is no limit. We are making room for overflow. So many blessings to you guys. And if you guys could please do us a huge huge favor. We're actually going to drop our email in the chat. If you guys can email us a review on how the workshop went for you today, please let us know. We'll appreciate your feedback. Also, you guys, we definitely want to let you know we have an upcoming workshop for credit repair February the 20th. Continue to follow us, check your emails. We'll be sending out updates and information as well. Thank you so much, Brandon. Thank you, Lori, and thank you to myself, and most importantly, thank you, God.
Sorry we went over the time, you guys. We wanted to make
Yes.
sure it was so much. We wanted to make sure you guys got all of the goodness. So be on the lookout, check your emails. If you have any questions, here's how you can get in contact with us. I know we're over the time, unfortunately, but if you have questions, you can reach out to us directly. I have the contact information on the screen. Please don't hesitate. And that's it, you guys.
Sorry.
I don't know why it's doing that.
All right, you guys, y'all made it through your very first workshop.
Woo!
Maybe your
Give
very
yourself
first.
a round of applause and pat yourself on the back.
Yes. I won't keep you guys we won't keep you guys any longer. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Thank you so much for dedicating your time. You could be anywhere in the world right now, but you chose to be with us. So you guys stay blessed and stay tuned. There's
like
more to come.
too.
Love you. Thank
Bye,
you so
you guys.
Much.
Thank you,
For
guys.
joining. Thank you, Brandon. We'll talk to you soon.
All right.
All right.
Bye. I'm going to end the live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See you later.
See ya.